What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, a fantastic afternoon, a fantastic pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is the HasanAbi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. We are live and alive, and I hope all the boys, all the girls, and all the MBs are having a fantastic one. What you just heard was Waiting for Hasan, the Megaphonics epic trailer version, once again. And all the girls and all the MBs are having a fantastic one because it's Wednesday, March 9th, 2022, 11:19 a.m. How cold is it there? It's actually not cold at all. It's actually 64 degrees and sunny. However, inside of the HasanAbi compound, the most heavily protected fortress in the United States of America, like to keep it a 68 degrees in the AC, no matter how hot it is outside. So 64 degrees outside is very, very hot. Good temperature.
What up, chat?
I
8 months of
keep
waiting
the internal heat always at 68 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit. And the reason why I keep it at 68 degrees is because I like to keep it cool, baby. That's why they call you a champagne socialist? 68? Yes. Also because for the average human being, obviously maintaining their AC at that level is insane. I basically run a production studio from my living room, which I have turned into a production studio. And that is precisely why I need to keep it at 68 degrees. The reason why I need to keep it at 68 degrees is because it gets insanely hot in here if I don't do that. There are multiple lights in this room. There are cameras. There are a fuckload of... Did I say Celsius again? There are...
Hi chat, hope everyone is well.
Funny thing is, I'm currently lying. It's not at 68. I always keep it at 69. But I just didn't want you to hyper focus on the sex number. So that's why I just lied and said 68. But actually, I keep it at 69. I just didn't want you to be like, the sex number. Nice. Easy. And sometimes I keep it at 68, but... But yeah, it's cold in here. It's definitely cold in here. And yes, there was someone in the chat said, "What do you have no women in the house?" Yes. And when I do have women in the house, i.e. my mom, who's coming back on Friday, I'm very excited. She fucking hates it. She literally absolutely despises how cold I keep the house when I'm streaming. But she can't say anything about it. So she just like sits outside.
16
the proof of cold is a limp D beanie. This is a BB No Money beanie. You just can't tell because the light is crazy. But, shouts out to BB No Money. Anyway, nice jacket. I got it from ASOS. I love fast fashion. I'm a big fan of fast fashion. I love getting fast fashion shit and then never throwing it out. Probably all of my staples that I've worn for many, many decades are all fast fashion shit. This is, I don't know if you can consider this fast fashion. I mean, it is ASOS.
Love being here and thankful.
But is it fast fashion if you wear it for like 8 years? It's the greatest jacket of all time. I mean, everybody asks about it.
Sco.
The burden is on ASOS. My entire closet is fast fashion and band tees. I never throw shit out. Yeah, it's just strange because it is fast fashion, which is devastating for the environment, but it's not fast fashion when you don't throw it out.
Love you, BB.
And you just keep wearing it. And like anyone that knows me anyone that knows me knows I've been wearing this jacket for like almost like 7 years now, I think. Think about that. I bought this jacket. I didn't even buy it. It was like a PR thing because I had a plug at ASOS who was doing PR for them. And I got this for free, but it was like $50 or something. It wasn't like crazy expensive for a denim jacket, right? And it's an oversized denim jacket. And I got it.
Love the stream and chat. Keep it up, both of you.
Fast fashion accessible in the instance of being staple pieces. I mean, it's just not fast fashion at that point, is my point. You've been wearing it as long as I've been watching, so I don't doubt you've had it forever. Yeah, no, I've literally... I mean, there's photos you can find if you go back long enough. There's photos from, like, fucking the Trump administration. Or even... I think Obama was president when I got this jacket. Like, it's been a long-ass fucking time, dude. It's a historic artifact.
Let's go, Hasans here.
I know. It's not about how you use it. It's about the production. I know. It's just interesting that, like, you can make a durable piece on the cheap. Like, why don't other brands do that, you know?
Child support is almost due.
Ceketin içine. You wore it at the Twitch convention. Yeah, I did. I did wear this at Berlin. TwitchCon Berlin.
Chat, I had sex with all 60,000 of your mothers, so you all are now grounded.
Anyway. That don't believe it. I'm the...
Poggies.
ASOS sells some non-fast fashion brands, so it depends on the brand. No, I think this is literally their like regular ASOS shit. I mean, it's not like super high quality. Look at the inside. Like the inside of it is not like very well done. But I mean it's high quality in the sense that like I've worn it for many, many years. Many, many, many years. And I love it. It's my favorite jacket. Everybody loves it. It's ASOS. But so Hasan is a true motherfucker. Nice try, Dono. Exactly. No liner is probably why you can wear it in 68-degree thermostat. Yeah. So we are going to talk about Don't Say Gay and the completely, absolutely psychopathic anti-LGBT laws that have been passing. But other than that, you know, this is before we get to the news, obviously. And clearly, there's going to be Ukraine coverage today, as well as every other day, clearly. But before we get to that, this is the part of the broadcast where I tell you a little bit more on personal news, and then we blast off and we welcome the Normans. I went to the doctor this morning to do another blood test finally, because it's been months since I did the last one, where it was like, yo, you have fucking, you know, high cholesterol. Like, what's happening? Like, your cholesterol's kind of high. We should check on that. Since then, you know, my diet has been like really fucking good, really good. Since then, my
love you has
my working out has become even better. 7 chickens a day. Yeah, I don't know what happens. My doctor keeps telling me to drink more water too, but figure that out. There's no high cholesterol stunlock yet. We haven't. The results for the blood work have not come back yet. So when that does, all the vegans can jump out of the fucking shadows, the disgusting underbelly of this the Twitch chat. Tell me all about how I need to stop eating animals or whatever. Yeah, since then I got banned from LSF, which was really good for my fucking my blood pressure, I think. Getting banned from LSF was a really good getting banned from LSF was really
20
good.
months of not getting brain rot.
Even though like all of those fucking weirdos have moved on to other communities deep down, you miss those LSF threads? I absolutely do not. It's fucking awesome. I'm literally banning you for saying something so psychotic and so stupid. It's actually incredibly good.
Currently listening to the podcast whilst nursing MH
like it's much
patients.
easier
Don't
for
wanna
me.
see any
It's much
schizo
easier
posters
for
in
me
your
to
house.
not go down like these weird rabbit holes of people just being like, you fucking suck, you're a fucking piece of shit, whatever. Whenever I have to go out of my way basically
Whoever makes the
to
tendies
find
determines
like
the
people
temp.
shitting on me or hating on me, unless it's like directly in my like replies or whatever. But the other part of not going on LSF is also not going on Okay Buddy, which needs to change because I've been like shut off effectively from Reddit because I don't go on. Made the streams better? Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think streams are better when I'm not getting like fucking canceled for no reason. Canceled. It's just all it happens is not. It's not even a real cancellation. It's just like ruins the content for like a little bit. No one is like, man, I'm so mad at this guy. Fuck this guy. Rammstein Air Base is written with one M. With two, it's the metal group. Dude, I grew up in Turkey and I grew up loving Rammstein. I'm always I'm a big fan of Rammstein. For me, okay, the air base is secondary, okay? It's secondary to one of my favorite fucking bands growing up. Anyway, German porn is German porn is literally just as hairy as Japanese porn. But at least it's like not censored.
Shipped with a hole in it, and then your
Nothing touches like if we're talking porn, the Eastern Bloc and Russian porn is way advanced in comparison to German stuff. Did you see the single Deutschland? Very cool clip of German history while criticizing nationalism. Yeah, I remember watching one of their fucking performances on stream, and they were wearing like Nazi outfits, even though they're anti-fascist. Like they're clearly anti-fascist. Yeah, I have a Czech bias for sure. Anyway, and people were like trying to cancel them for. People were trying to cancel them for fucking wearing like Nazi-looking outfits while being German, and saying like it's fucking they're.
Hola.
Anyway. Concentrated Ukrainian Nazi content? Wait, what? No, I don't want to fucking watch. Dude, I don't want to have a conversation about Ukrainian Nazis every day, dude. It's like, it doesn't matter, okay? Holy shit. Like, just let it happen at this point. You can't stop it. I can't stop it. Vladimir Putin should have never invaded Ukraine, but he did. And now it's over, okay? It's done. It's just...
Sleek fit.
It's just terrible. Hot. It's going to be fucking terrible no matter what. All right. The Macy's, thank you for the fat playlist. So we're obviously going to talk about the Polish jet situation. But before I get to all of that here, let me just fucking blast off real quick. Live. So let's do that. What is this? Is this Doug Dimmadome? Sheriff, Russia is embarrassing itself. What the fuck is this? This is hilarious. I'm live and discussing day 14 of Russian invasion.
Less than 3.
Polish jet mishap. Gas prices. And the American response.
Queen dies Friday, calling it now.
American response. Man, you type so slow. No, it's not. It's not that I type slow. I'm thinking of what I should say here in a blast off tweet. You know, this is like people don't
3 months of
understand. People think
sun
like,
brain rot.
oh, just a blast
I'll
off
be
tweet is
here
like
for the
whatever. It's
nuclear launch
not.
party.
It's not whatever, dude. Okay, it's important. It's significant. There's a lot of effort being put into it. So, you know what I mean?
Go watch Batman. It's for girls.
Don't watch Batman. It's for girls. Normalizing relationships with Vuvuzeller. More reacts.
Happy 12 months.
Normalizing relationships with Vuvuzeller. Anti-LGBT laws in U.S. Reacts.
2 months. Let's go.
Go watch the Uncharted movie. It's goated. No shot, dude. What do you mean? Did they make like a new Indiana Jones? The funny thing about that is here we blasted off. The funny thing about the Uncharted movies is that like it's literally a video game of a movie. Like it's just. I am actually, however, excited, and this is not a hashtag ad. It's kind of fucked up that they actually won't let me do a hashtag ad for this. Because like I would be a perfect fit for this. Is the new boys, the Diabolical or whatever, is like they're doing a I guess a animated sequence, right? They're doing like an animated version of boys. Is it bad? Oh no, really? I hope it's not bad. But also, it's fucking annoying that they won't, like, I'm an Amazon employee, bro. Let me do a fucking hashtag ad for boys. It's literally right up my, it's not even in my alley. It is up my asshole, okay? The entire show is designed specifically with me and my interests in mind. It's one of the best, like, anti-imperialist critiques in modern media, and I keep fucking hyping it, and I'm just like, why? I don't know why they won't like do a fucking collab with me. I'm Amazon, they're Amazon. The boys are fucking sick. The boys and the other Amazon show. What was the one with the that's been memed into oblivion? Animated anthology. The boys is fantastic. Invincible, yeah. Those are like two fucking shows that I love.
You'll all look
and
cute, chat hassle.
Because you do it for free. They don't know that. Would it be possible to watch The Boys while avoiding sexual assault triggers? Dude, I don't fucking know, man. What the fuck? What? Ask a professional. Don't ask me. What? I don't know what is going to trigger your... You sound like how Marvel fans talk about the way Eternals is actually woke as fuck. Wait. I mean, I make fun of that sort of attitude, but I do enjoy the, you know, the comic book rendition of The Boys, which is actually a perfect analogy and directly about, like, the entire movie or the entire sequence is directly about the DoD and how they wage wars all around the planet and how, you know, it's like, it's not communist or anything. If that's what you're if that's what you're thinking, but it does do a very good job of making fun of it does a very good job making fun of liberalism, like fake pandering aesthetic liberalism. It does a very good job of criticizing the Pentagon, the Defense Department, American jingoism, military industrial complex. It's entirely about that. The entire show is designed around it. The guy who plays Homelander was just arrested and charged for assault in Spain. Wait, really? What the fuck? He's so good. Dude, he is so fucking good at acting. Like, this dude is incredible, straight up. The Boys star Anthony Starr has been arrested for alleged assault, given a suspended prison sentence while filming a new Guy Ritchie movie. Oh my God, he's in a Guy Ritchie movie? I can't wait to watch this. He's just method acting, bro.
Hi, it's Lil Krish. Can we have once every few months LSF time?
He was convicted for assault at a court hearing.
Please.
He was arrested Wednesday morning after the police were called due to a disturbance at a pub in Alicante. The chef, Batuel Araujo, told police officers he was punched 2 times before a glass was smashed in his face. He was taken to a hospital and required 4 stitches and a wound above his eye. Yeah, okay. He was
13
just
months and I still can't beat radar and has
Starr was given a 12-month suspended prison sentence after admitting to the assault. What the fuck? Dude, what was he doing? What a psycho. He's in Homelander mode, dude. He thinks he's like fucking Homelander still. He tried to laser his eyes. Read what he said to the chef. La Información. Alicante's biggest newspaper reported that Starr's 12-month prison sentence was suspended on the condition that he paid a $5,464 fine in the next 72 hours and did not commit any more crimes in the following 2 years. Starr was allegedly very inebriated. The court officials said the sentence was a result of an agreement between the state prosecution. What did he say? What did he say to the guy before fighting him? Have you seen the wrestler who went Super America and unironically wore Homelander gear and refused to turn heel despite being booed relentlessly? He literally says, "I will kill you." It's insane. He wasn't allowed a lawyer, and he was charged day of. Not sure if he actually assaulted him.
Meltdown.
The article doesn't put the quote, but he said, "You don't know who I am. I will kill you." What the fuck? That's crazy. In an interview with the cast, they were asked who the most liked their character. The cast in the all room pointed to the Homelander dude. No. Anthony Starr is actually like that in real life. Like he loves sucking on lactating mother titties. Like what the fuck? He's just like actually into titty milk. That's crazy. Stop it. So he's not even acting? That's kind of weird. I don't like that.
So there's this thing in...
Hey, Climate Town made a new video about Russian oil. We'll watch that as well. Climate Town, big fan of these guys now, okay? They're very poggers. Holy shit, bro. Be more Canadian. What the fuck is this outfit? Jesus Christ. He is literally denim on denim on denim on denim. Jesus, Lord mercy. In a log cabin.
25 months watching this dude.
What is happening? Is titty milk the scientific term or nah? You asked that one guy on Reddit.
Good evening.
If you ask that one guy on Reddit, or not Reddit, the one Wikipedia mod, titty milk is scientific. All right. First and foremost, before we get to the Polish stuff, okay? Before we get to Poland, which, by the way, if you're not from like Eastern Europe or if you're not Europe adjacent in any meaningful capacity, do Americans have Polish jokes? I'm not going to make those, of course. I'm just going to point to them and say that's wrong and bad.
2 months. Crazy.
Do Americans know about Polish jokes? Like Poland is to the Turks in the chat. Poland is the Karadeniz of Europe. All the Turks will understand what I mean by that. Yes, it's old racism.
Boy.
We Poles are as discriminated as much as Italians. Okay, so like there's literally a play called Polish Joke. I mean, it's just like, how many Polish people does it take to, fucking light a light bulb, stuff like that. It's always like it's just it's like old school anti-Polish racist how do I describe it? Like it's like old school jokes. They're the same jokes about Germans and Russians, I'm sure.
Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Poland is Europe's Mexico for reference to Americans. Well, no. Yes and no. But like yes, because yes, Poland is right. EU's source of like cheap labor from a white country, a white Christian country, rather than a supposedly brown and Muslim country like Turkey, which of course Germany has relied on. Polish jokes in Germany is that they're all thieves, like a bike missing. It was a Polish guy. Anyway, the reason why I mentioned it is because what is happening currently, what's unfolding currently with the Polish jet delivery to Rammstein Air Base versus like directly sending it to Ukraine is literally like a built-in Polish joke in and of itself.
SMH.
Okay. But, you know, we're not going to do that right now, and we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's really important. Okay? We are going to talk about what actually matters. Not the Ukrainian lives, not the Russian people, and not what's going on. What's happening to Americans, okay? Finally, I'm sick and tired of talking about Ukrainian this, Ukrainian that. How about we find a crane to lower the gas prices a little bit? That's right. I'm being sarcastic. Obviously, I care about the Ukrainian lives, but you know, I'm doing an American voice right now. I'm speaking for all Americans. President Biden, Joe Brandon, decided to eliminate Russian, our reliance on Russian gas, stop Russian gas and oil and imports in its entirety. Okay. President Brandon, he did that. Former file sharing site LimeWire relaunches the NFT marketplace. Oh, stop it.
Link SMH.
Yeah, I can't wait to get the same exact porn when I'm thinking I'm actually like purchasing an NFT, but it's the same porn actually. Just like way back from LimeWire days. Childhood memories unlocked. Like 75% of Fox News over the past 2 days has been about gas prices. Of course, dude. Of course they're going to be about gas prices. A great way to fucking hammer, you know, Brandon is fucked up. Brandon is doing a fuck up. So let's take a look. So a couple things happened. One, President Brandon banned all import of oil, gas, and energy. Let's take a look.
Is a ban on importing oil and natural gas from Russia. Members of Congress from both parties support the move, even though it will push up record high gas prices.
I've also heard that like 70% of Americans agree with higher gas prices if it means being able to punish Russia. I don't know if that is a correct poll or not, and I don't know how Americans' attitudes will shift once they truly see the devastating impact in their pocket, because Americans are they're very selfish. We're a selfish country. Let's be real. We're selfish. We don't want to ever sacrifice anything, you know, so I'd be shocked if Americans start feeling the stress at the pump and then they fucking turn around and still maintain that same attitude. I'd be shocked, but maybe. But we're spiteful as fuck. Yeah, we do hate Russia a lot, so maybe. It might work.
Here in the U.S. This morning, the average price per gallon is $4.25, 59 cents higher than it was last week. As Ouija Jang reports, the president says it was a necessary move.
Today, I'm announcing the United States is targeting the main artery of Russia's economy.
So the thing is, most Americans have like a completely broken understanding. Most people on the planet have a broken understanding of like why gas prices are the way they are. Now, the gas prices are the way they are, and they've been this way, and they've been rising for some time now. Part of it is because, obviously, you know, OPEC Plus, i.e. Saudi Arabia, the Emirati leaders, Russia, decide what a price of a barrel is going to look like, and they limit supply. Okay? The other problem there is that the American purchasers that purchase crude oil barrels, okay? The other problem is that, you know, we also on our own end are gas and oil producers. We do the exact same thing as well, and it's the exact same concept for our oil producers as well. It's just like, why the fuck would you supply more? Why would you drill more? Why would you supply more when you can make more money with less barrels? And when America has no influence over OPEC Plus and can't have influence over OPEC Plus, and America can't even have influence over its own oil producers, okay, because it's not nationalized, so you just have to ask them kindly, then you can't control the prices. Actually, asking them, or nay, demanding them to lower prices would be called price regulations, which is anti-capitalist, which is devastating. Oh my God. If we did that, then, you know, this is the old man Brandon all of a sudden looking to the left of Lenin. Really, I mean, seriously. So we can't do that. So much so that even when people try to tell you like, oh, we aren't producing more oil, we need like a Keystone pipeline or whatever. It's like, motherfucker, we could produce more oil. It's just that our oil producers don't want to do that because they're already making a fuckload of money. It's just limited supply while prices go up is good for them. Demand is the same, if not increased gigantically. Okay? They do less work and they have more valuable commodity in their hands. So, you know. Crybaby fucking Americans, maybe you should try fucking petrol prices around the world. Fucking ugly, smelly, dirty cunts. That's the other part of it, is what I was going to mention, is that like oil prices have been very, very high all around the world for a very long time. The price for petrol in the United States is incredibly fucking low in comparison to everywhere else. Why don't we ask the billionaire oil CEOs to take one for the team, not the working class? Yeah, good luck with that one. Now, of course, oil prices impact everything because the global economy is run on oil, okay? I mean, I have an electric vehicle. It doesn't like directly impact me, but it still directly impacts me in other ways, right? It doesn't directly impact me when I go to the gas station, but it directly impacts me because I'm still, I'm charging my electric vehicle in my house, and now electricity is going to be more expensive. Everything's going to be more expensive because everything runs on oil. So, just the himbo asking, please don't roast, but wouldn't price regulating be a risky move towards economic collapse in this day and age? Dude, I want that. I not an economic collapse, but I want America to say, hey, we have been subsidizing energy production in this goddamn country since the beginning of time, okay? It's time for us to get something in return, and that is full-blown nationalization of our extraction industries and immediate jailing of all CEOs and executives at every single oil corporation, and immediately send them to re-education camps, okay? Scratch off all of their names from every fucking every private institution that they've funneled money into so they can traffic and influence and act like they were, incredible philanthropic people. Change all of those names. Change all of their fucking names. Like, no more Guggenheim, no more nothing, okay? It belongs to the people. And immediately moving towards renewable energy. Biden is in the same trap as Omicron. He's been defined by events instead of defining them. Get the MIG deal done. Get 1.5 trillion CR COVID Ukraine aid pass. Get UAE Iraq to ramp up supply. Release a huge part of the SPR. Suspend Fed gas tax and work with the governments to do the same on the state gas excise taxes. Yeah, good luck to Brandon on all of that. A Keystone Pipeline gas is Biden's fault from coworkers. How do I counter it? Yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
Loved every bit of it.
One thing you can always rely on is this. It's not even about cutting taxes. It's literally about, you can do that, okay? You can do that. You can actually demand states or at the federal level, like lower the tax burden so you can drop the price. But why are you helping the oil companies? Why are you helping the oil and gas industry? Once again, why are you defending the oil and gas industry once again? Force them to fucking take a haircut. What the fuck is this bullshit? Anyway,
5 months, baby.
Yeah, no more subsidies. We've been building pipelines in perpetuity. Shit's not normalized. The prices are still going up. It's crazy. I thought left of Lenin is only infantile disorder. What? Are there any life-altering imports Russia is missing out on? My dumbass friend is arguing that Russia will be fine because they aren't a country that lacks raw materials. And if you're not trading with outside nations, then the value of your currency compared to theirs doesn't matter. Well, part of that outside trade is going to be done through China. So there's that element there. And China and Russia partnered together will make sure that Russia is fine. But I think in this situation, Russia being an authoritarian country that is controlled almost single-handedly by Vladimir Putin and his oligarchs that work at his behest is an advantage. Because in a situation like that, during a war economy, you can very quickly fucking change the levers of power and make sure that your entire government is working or your entire economy is working towards the war effort. Whereas, like, if that were to happen in any other country, unless it was like a World War II type situation, if it happened, when shit like that happens in Venezuela, for example, or any other country, when that happens, foreign investment immediately panics. They dip out. They run away. And all of a sudden, there's these right-wing groups that are popping up and shit like that. Whereas Putin has way more control over his own economy and whichever way he wants to move it. AJ reported that Russian oil companies are seeing a net gain due to the market price increases. That too, obviously, Russia still is a big exporter of oil and gas and commodities, regardless. So, like, trying to sanction Russia off without finding another avenue to be able to produce oil is going to be a gigantic problem. That's why we are now normalizing our relations with Venezuela. Because turns out, look alive, Jack, it's the Mac attack. We need Venezuelan oil. So, we're coming back to Venezuela and we're saying, hey, listen, baby, let me tell you something. Listen, Dura, I want to talk to you real good. You understand? Now, I know I've said some things that you might have misunderstood, misconstrued. I've been shutting you out, but I should have been. I've been shutting my own heart out, Madura. Look alive, Jack. Baby, I need you. I need you so bad, baby. Madura, I need you so fucking bad. Oh, I love you, Madura. I love communism, Jack. I love it. That's right. Madura. I'm gonna lift some of these. How about I lift some of these sanctions that's been killing your economy, huh? Yeah, I'll take off some more clothes. That's fine, Madura. Take off some more clothes. Yeah.
Love ya.
Take those sanctions right off. Oh, you like that? Like that? Yeah, I'm a dirty boy. I'll dance for you, Madura. I'll dance for you so good. That's basically what's going on currently. Anyway, let's continue.
Biden ordered a U.S. ban on Russian coal, oil, and gas, which makes up over 40% of Russia's revenue.
That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable.
Yeah, the funniest thing is, they're like, yeah, Venezuela's capitalist now. Yeah, and all the migrants are returning home. Hey, everything's good now. Venezuela's capitalist. Yay, we did it.
U.S. ports and the American people will deal another powerful blow to Putin's war machine.
But it also impacts gas prices here at home.
Gonna go up.
At a time when drivers across the country are already...
Dude, those are my favorite Brandon moments. Look, where they were like, what's happening with gas prices, President Joe Brandon?
Time when drivers across the country are already paying record high prices at the pump. Well,
in the main artery of Russia.
Wait, where did it go?
President Biden ordered a U.S. ban on Russian coal, oil, and gas, which makes up over 40% of Russia's revenue.
That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports, and the American people will deal another powerful blow to Putin's war machine.
But
it's one of my favorite Brandonisms when he goes, they're going to go up. or at least 3, or
It also impacts gas prices here at home.
Gonna go up.
that's just like straight to the point, baby. Straight to the fucking point. They're like, hey, President Brandon, what's going to happen to the gas prices? They're going to go up, Jack. Look alive. I'll fight you. Oh, I fucking love that, dude. Just straight to the point, dude. Listen, fat. Oh, no. Your whole personality is hating America and Biden while he's doing more than any other U.S. president to push us forward. Sort of like how the top of the hour, oh, fuck you. Break pushes us to sub for free Amazon Prime or $5 a month. Yeah, good one, dude. Good one. That's the first one of the day, too. Like, at least let me have one of the fucking ad breaks. You can't be breaking
9
this
months
shit.
And the brain rot has set in.
But he is right. It is top of the fucking hour, so we are going to do a 60-second ad break right now. So, if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $5. You can do that for free. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Right at 12.
1 year already? Gross.
I heard we get little oil from Russia. Why are prices going up so much? Yeah, I wonder why, man. It's crazy. Perhaps it has something to do with the fact that, it's that our oil and gas industry has a mind of its own, and they don't actually care about what will happen to inflation or what will happen to prices of everything else and what will happen to the average American citizen, and they will continue doing what is to their benefit, which is not take not take a shave, not take a haircut. There's no patriotism within a corporation, okay?
At HasanAbi as a royal living in CZ and seeing what is happening and knowing that UA will not win and the West will not help them, I have only sadness, disappointment left for both sides, West and East. None of the people are at fault but some megalomaniacs.
Oil is a global commodity. U.S. refiners need the kind of oil you get from Russia or Saudi. Shale isn't what they are set up to refine. They get crude oil from Russia, right? I thought. The percentage of oil that the United States gets from Russia is limited, but that limitation in and of itself, the way that prices are set up,
best 2 months.
Even a limitation of like even a limitation of 2% or 4%, depending on some reports that I've seen, is going to mean a way larger fucking price hike than just 2% or 8% of a price hike. It's going to be way higher than that. Because everything is built on futures. Everything is built on the profit margin of the oil and gas industry. The entire market is built around having no additional volatility or no additional shocks. All of the supply is built ahead of time. All of the supply is regulated by, obviously, like, they're pushed by governments to overproduce so they can normalize pricing a little bit. But they're not going to do that because they make more money this way.
Moderate pogo.
And this kind of disruption is not accounted for. And we have some reserves, which Brandon is using currently to normalize prices. But ultimately, it's still entirely up to American producers to take a haircut, which they will not. Is it far to say us Americans that are middle are feeling the sanctions already? I was looking at planes to fly for my grandma's funeral, and the price went up from $800 to $1,300 overnight for a 4-hour flight. Yeah. It's going to happen everywhere, to everything.
At a time when drivers across the country are already paying record high prices at the pump, well over $4 a gallon.
It's more expensive than I've ever paid, actually.
It blows my mind. It's a crazy number.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky tweeted that he was thankful for the U.S. and President Biden. Top American companies are...
The thing that I suspect is, one, people are going to start not giving a shit about Ukraine very aggressively when they start getting hurt in the wallet. And two, Ukrainians are going to start realizing like, oh, fuck, Russia was able to take the sanctions on the chin, and the war efforts are still continuing, even though so many people said they were going to end this past weekend. Why the fuck haven't we been able to retake any of the fucking cities? What the fuck's going on? Oh, shit. Oh, my God. They're literally not doing a no-fly zone. Oh, my God. They think Poland and Lithuania and Estonia and the Baltic states are more important than Ukraine. World War III is already happening in Ukraine, but America and the rest of the world don't want to engage with Russia to do World War III. Oh, fuck. They're not going to help us any further than just giving us weapons, which is what I've been fucking saying from the jump. And that's going to probably build some resentment towards the Western world a little bit. But it's true. Those are some hard to swallow pills. And I wish that it wouldn't take like actual fucking lead and the destruction and evisceration of, you know, apartments, houses, hospitals, and schools to be able to swallow such pills that like the Western world does not care about Ukrainian safety to a degree where they will compromise their own security and go into a nuclear holocaust. Potentially. This person is saying, yeah, you've been always right about the Ukraine situation. Your predictions are never off. Dude, if that makes you feel better, then go ahead.
Wiggly waggly.
You know, act like America does care about Ukraine. That's why they haven't done a fucking no-fly zone. And also, it's not even smart for America to do a no-fly zone. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not even saying that it's good. It's not. That would mean nuclear holocaust. Are you going to play Elden Ring later again? Yes, of course.
Are also hitting Russia's economy. Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, McDonald's, and Starbucks, and Yum, the parent company of KFC and Taco Bell, have all suspended operations.
I think Putin is determined to dominate and control Ukraine.
Still, the director of the CIA testified that Putin appears undeterred by the consequences and the military setbacks, warning the situation will only get worse.
Are you chatter here, to be honest? There's a limit on what we can take in regards to sanctions. It's getting kind of tough. A shit ton of people losing their jobs and prices doubling for a lot of shit. I mean, yeah, that is gonna happen. Obviously, there is a limit to how much Russia can withstand sanctions. I agree. I mean, dude, even something as simple as like, you know, we make fun of McDonald's, right? I saw something really funny. I saw Varg, you know, famous Thulian Varg, the Nazi, tweet about how like, oh, you are doing sanctions on Coca-Cola and McDonald's. That's right. What are you trying to sanction Russia to be more healthy? Why don't you take away sanctions like that in my country too? And it's like, people don't understand that like when McDonald's closes 385 locations, that's thousands of jobs that are now gone. Starbucks, thousands of jobs gone. Okay. Based Nazi. Oh, wait. No, but people don't understand that these are jobs. 850 locations. Yeah, 60,000 jobs. Holy fuck.
Let's go, Bezo money.
62,000 people no longer have a job.
And Hassel.
Okay. Are you saying you don't care about Ukraine because you don't want a no-fly zone? I'm saying that I care about Ukraine, and my solutions for Ukraine are more utilitarian and would avoid more conflict. But a lot of people in the Western world don't care about Ukraine and only care about it aesthetically, and obviously don't understand the consequences when they say stuff like, yeah, we should do a no-fly zone. And if you're not going to do a no-fly zone and, you know, risk World War III and go into World War III, then you should probably work towards de-escalation immediately. Technically, the violation of a no-fly zone wouldn't be Article 5. Turkey tried that multiple times for Syria and couldn't find consensus among NATO partners. Dog,
Hassle.
do you think Turkey and Russia is the same as America and Russia? America is now officially involved in this conflict. Okay? I know. Turkey is the most unique NATO member given its proximity to Russia, but also, more importantly, its relationship with Russia. Turkey also has pipeline agreements with Russia. Turkey has also literally shot a fucking Russian plane. Turkey also has bought Russian missile defense systems while still simultaneously buying American fighter jets. Turkey is the most unique country in NATO, and I'm not saying that as a Turkish person, okay? Turkey is literally selling Bayraktars to fucking to Ukraine right now, but its defense systems feature Russian anti-air defense. So if Russia were to invade Turkey, Russia's very own defense systems would be fighting against Russia's very own fighter jets. Okay? You can never understand what Turkey is doing. So if you are to make a comparison between Turkey and Russia, and it's like proxy wars in fucking Syria, okay? You will never be able to understand it. It's way more direct when we talk about way more direct when we talk about like America's involvement in Ukraine and Western Europe's involvement in Ukraine. Okay? Don't bring Turkey into this and think that like Turkey is a good example of Article 5 not being Article 5 not being implemented. Trust me. Mad lads, dude. Anyway. You think they'll ship the MiGs through Turkey? No. You will never be Japanese. You will never find the love of your life in Japan. Okay, shut the fuck up. Amerikalılar bir gerizekalı. No fly zone olmasın. 3. Dünya Savaşı, nükleer savaş falan diyorsa bunlar Ukraynalılar sikinde değil mi diyorlar. McDonald's ülkesi amına koyayım. Aynen öyle. Bunlar hepsi McDonald's kafalı arkadaş. Bu kadar basit. Çok yediler McDonald's. Şimdi sadece öyle düşünebiliyorlar. Başka hiçbir şey anlamıyorlar. Bir de kendilerini zannediyorlar ki dünyanın en büyük, en iyi ülkesi. O yüzden zannediyorlar ki Libya yaptıklarını mesela burada yapabilirler mesela. Zannediyorlar ki Rusya yapacaklar aynı boku. Ah yaparsın. Ah bunu alırsın işte öyle yapmaya çalışırsan. Götüne girer. Neyse giren yarak sadece Ukraynalıların götüne giriyor ama maalesef. Alright, let's continue. McDonald's is still paying Russian workers? Nice. Okay, so no, I'm making fun of Americans in the chat in Turkish. Sorry. Who are like, what the fuck is wrong with Americans? Like they think a no-fly zone is acceptable, and if you say no to that, then you don't care about Ukrainians.
To dominate and control Ukraine.
Still, the director of the CIA testified that Putin appears undeterred by the consequences and the military setbacks, warning the situation will only get worse.
Where that leads, I think, is for an ugly next few weeks in which he doubles down, as I said before, with scant regard for civilian casualties, in which urban fighting can get even uglier.
Bro, I saw Nuland said there are biolabs. I know, dude. Yes. COVID wasn't a fucking bioweapon in China, but actually the very same people who fucking claimed that COVID wasn't a bioweapon in China, understandably, because they're correct, will now turn around and say it actually was a fucking bioweapon in Ukraine. Yes, dude, there are laboratories everywhere where there are massive population centers. Ukraine is a 44 million population country. What did I say? At first I said, this sounds like fucking fake news to me, okay? When people were like, oh, bioweapons. Okay. Biolabs being in a fucking country does not mean that they're like literally fucking building weapons, dude. Stop. You sound like fucking QAnon weirdos, man. Holy shit.
Love you, Hasan bestie.
There's also growing concern over the Americans who are still being held in Russia. The whereabouts of WNBA star Brittany Griner are still unknown after she was arrested on drug charges. You can see here, State TV just released her booking photo. And
That's so fucked up.
yesterday, President Biden called the family of Marine veteran Trevor Reed to reaffirm the U.S.'s commitment to bring him home. Reed was detained back in 2019 after a night out. Dana?
It's going to be obvious on the
podcast
structure of a
with
disease if
H3?
it was
Miss
man-made.
your body.
Yes, but good luck explaining that to any fucking dummy, okay?
Breaking
Anyway,
news
speaking of dummies, dude. Hey, look at that. Speaking of fucking fake friends, dude, I can't wait to run victory laps over here, dude. Holy shit. I'm happy that like sanctions are being lifted. At least there's like a positive element of this. At least there's a fucking positive element to this entire story that, you know, Venezuela is potentially having some sanctions lifted.
Overnight,
you know?
2 Americans held in Venezuela have been released
Putin
following
back.
talks with the Biden administration as the White House considers lifting oil sanctions on Venezuela. Senior White House
Motherfuckers say which sanctions? Well, there you go. George Stephanopoulos already told you.
correspondent Mary Bruce has the latest. Good
They
morning.
should fucking, dude, Maduro, what are you doing, dummy? What the fuck are you doing? Tell him to lift all sanctions, baby. Fuck just the oil
6
ones.
crimes.
What do you
Wow.
mean? You're the sexiest bitch in the ball right now. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Oh, yeah, let's fucking, yeah, no, it's fine. Just lift the oil. What are you talking about, dude? You are so fucking sexy right now. Are you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me? Holy shit. You should be asking for, like, U.S. aid, but this time not guns, like literally directly aid, like food for Venezuelans instead of guns for the reactionary forces within the country to institute yet another coup d'etat that will fail. Just like you could ask for so much, dude. They tried to fucking murder you with a drone, dog. That failed. They tried to murder you with the worst coup d'etat of all time. That fishermen were able to intercept, and you're out here. You're just like, yeah, okay, take the fucking sanctions off the oil. What do you mean? Be like, you need to force
Did you hear about
foreign
the
capital to
Diabolical
come
in
the
Russia?
fuck back into this country. And if I arrest every single like food producer and nationalize the food sector by throwing all of the fucking the billionaire food producer people that are living in America currently to come back to Venezuela so we can fucking jail every single one of them. They'll do it. They'll let you do it, baby. Come on. Come on, baby. Fuck is wrong with you? Put your dick out on the table. Let your nuts hang. You got the fucking balls in your court. Wait, is that true? Did they actually try to kill Maduro? What do you mean? Is that actually true, bro? They don't even hide it, dude. Like, what do you not remember Silver Core?
Pride.
There's footage of it. We watched it yesterday when that fucking failed drone strike thing happened. Why are you still on Twitch? Hashtag Timmy's Twitch? What do you mean Timmy's Twitch?
I've had cups in my room for longer than 18 months.
What? The fuck is Timmy's Twitch? He's saying clean Twitch, but I don't know what he means. He asked me why I'm on Twitch. Anyway, Erdogan talked with Herzog about a new pipeline too. First time since 2008 Israeli official came to Turkey.
Mary.
Good morning, Georgia. This could be a sign of a real shift in the relationship between the U.S. and Venezuela. Overnight, the authoritarian government there releasing 2 Americans held prisoner just days after we know about this rare meeting between
brain rot is
President
setting in
Maduro and
Hasan.
top U.S. officials who are now considering lifting oil sanctions on Venezuela. The released men are Gustavo Cardenas, an oil executive held for 5 years,
Foolish.
and Alberto Fernandez, a tourist who was arrested last year. Now, overnight, President
Foolish. He's out here. Dude, Maduro's out here like a fucking, like a abused ex-girlfriend, dude. What the fuck are you doing? Dude, live your own life. Live your own fucking life, dog. What the fuck? What are you doing? You're already like giving up? You're already giving up like Americans that you detained and shit? What the fuck? Don't let that happen. Why are you doing a demonstration of good faith? They've never been good to you, Maduro. They've never been good to you, Maduro. You don't need to be good back to them. Queen, king. Hold your fucking frame, dog. Fuck you doing? The equivalent, not to do the yassified TikTok shit, but like, I'm gonna do it regardless. Right now, Maduro's got that gorilla grip, okay? He has a gorilla grip coochie, okay? Wet ass pussy. He has pee power. He has it all, okay? Flex it, dude. What do you mean? Put your pussy on the table, Maduro. What the fuck? He's out here fucking releasing, Americans detained in Venezuela without anything, without any concessions. You're crazy.
President Biden in a statement saying, quote, these men are fathers who lost precious time with their children and everyone they love. And Biden thanking the diplomatic teams who helped to secure their release, George.
And Mary, the timing of this, of course, is notable.
I can't tell. Are you being sarcastic or actually pro-Maduro? I'm pro-fucking liberating and allowing Venezuelan people to no longer fucking starve as a consequence of our insane sanctions, which are normally an act of war because Venezuela has no power to fucking fight back. Is just active genocide, okay? Light genocide. Not full-blown genocide, but like a lighter version of that. That's what I'm against. That's what I'm against. I'm against these kinds of sanctions on countries that can't fucking push back against it. And I'm for the safety and security of all human beings on this fucking planet, whether they be in Ukraine or whether they be in fucking Venezuela.
Hasan looking like a whole plumbus.
If you think that means that I am pro-Maduro, I don't give a shit. Go ahead. Same goes for Cuba, too. This is an opportunity where Maduro
cannot be effective in an unstable world.
Maduro now has a very unique opportunity to be able to fucking push back against all of these crippling and insane sanctions. Dude, shut the fuck up, dude. Shut up. Anyway. Because America is at its doorstep and desperately needs. You are not pro-reality. Yeah, I am. I'm not pro-reality. You're right. And right now, Maduro has a lot of bargaining power, unlike ever before. And the reality is this, okay? Maduro, not great. Okay? Not great. Sure. Fine. Understand it. Completely understand your take, okay?
16 months.
Except,
brain rot.
It doesn't matter. You don't get to fucking kill random Venezuelans because they, for the crime that they were born in a country that is being led by the legacy of an administration that decided to nationalize its oil production.
Boys, let's get some
okay,
in the chat, sussy.
Which then really upset the capitalists in that country. That's crazy. You know?
At HasanAbi, here is why the Russian tanks have cages on top.
Wait, are you for using the two hostages as a bargaining chip? Just joined. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't give anything to America without immediate fucking release of sanctions. Like nothing on a good word. I don't trust America as far as I could throw America. And let's be real, I can't really throw America very far. Okay? I wouldn't give shit. I wouldn't give up shit. Straight up. If I'm Maduro, I'm not giving up shit. Okay? No fucking show of good faith. These people have been crippling your country. These people have been killing your people. Okay? Working with your Chamber of Commerce. Working with the billionaires and millionaires in your country to fucking destroy the safety and security of Venezuelans, and you're just gonna fucking give up prisoners? Fuck that. Trying to assassinate you. What a pussy, honestly.
Hasan.
Straight up.
I just wanted to say your name right.
The U.S. could use Venezuelan oil to replace Russian oil.
Yeah, and the White House insists that the release of these prisoners are not at all related to these conversations about possibly easing oil sanctions on Venezuela.
Yeah, not related at all.
This is very interesting timing. Look, we know they are having these discussions. Venezuela has huge oil reserves.
I think it just smoothens negotiations if you don't have hostages. Oh, yeah? It's already a hostage negotiation when you have sanctions that are holding your entire country hostage.
Poopy.
So I agree. Yeah, it does smoothen negotiations when you don't have American hostages. Except America has the entire country of Venezuela hostage and has held it captive.
And of course, there's a new urgency to this.
So
now
why give up your
President Biden
leverage?
has announced he's banning the import of Russian oil and gas here in the U.S. and is looking to fill this void. But of course, this is not without controversy. Maduro, we know, has been accused of massive human rights violations, George.
Yes, he has. Mayor Bruce, thanks very much.
I don't understand how Venezuela is poor and have most oil reserves.
CHX
Their
for
economy,
informed.
unfortunately, under Chavez, was not able to diversify quickly enough to overcome the flight of foreign capital and numerous fucking coup d'etat attempts and assassination attempts, while also simultaneously being shut off from both foreign capital and internally from their wealthy aristocrats who despised Chavez's actions, which got even worse when the price of oil dipped. Oil has always been their leverage. They're making a big comeback now. Let's go, baby. You know, let's go Venezuela. Let's go, Brandon.
At HasanAbi, the new Obi-Wan trailer is out. Soy facing.
It's
right
like
now.
Hasan Kanafani said about Israel and Palestine. It's like a conversation between the sword and the neck. Ooh, that's a good take. Saudi Arabia recently denied to hold phone calls with the U.S. when they try to get their oil. Yeah, I did hear that as well. We were going to look at that. The Saudi and Emirati leaders are refusing to discuss with Biden helping lower oil prices until Washington supports them more in Yemen as they bomb civilians and gives the Saudi crown prince immunity from lawsuits about the murder of Jamal Khashoggi, which is awesome. And they will do this, by the way. I'm pretty sure they will do this. Why wouldn't they? Those are our allies, baby. Chavez and Maduro rigged the election, shot at the people. I don't care. You know why? Because the alternative to that, first of all, you're lying. And secondly, the alternative to that is not to fucking murder Venezuelans ourselves, dude. What kind of stupid shit is this? Yeah, we should strangle that country then. Yeah, except, you know, here's our other ally. Here's our actual ally, Saudi Arabia, literally looking to be above the law and continue its active genocide in Yemen. That's cool, man. Seems great. Seems normal, right? Why don't they get fucking sanctions? Dumbass. You are contradicting yourself here.
Baby?
No, I'm not.
Take me out to dinner at HasanAbi.
I believe that globally we have partnerships that we can demand more from. We could demand more from Saudi Arabia, but we don't because we want gas on the fucking cheap. We can demand more from our actual global partners while simultaneously murdering fucking other countries' citizens for things that they have done that we greatly exaggerate, or things that they have done in moments of fucking crisis that is horrible, that we would do 10 times worse if we had a similar fucking situation at hand. It's something that you will never, ever, ever have to think about living in the imperial court. Don't worry about that. Okay? You're very idealistic. I mean, I guess. Why are you such an anti-Semite? Wait, what? Why do you hate Jews? Why are you such an anti-Semite? What is this question? I do not hate Jews, and I'm not anti-Semitic. What the fuck? People really come in here and just like say anything, dude. They're like, he'll respond to it, so I'll just like come in here and just make shit up. Just.
I love the show. It's always so informative.
Heard on Reddit? Wait, what? Reddit is saying I'm anti-Semitic? When? Since when? Anyway. Motherfuckers who are new here you go against Israel in the slightest and call you anti-Semitic. I think that's why. Wait. But I haven't even mentioned Israel. What are they, like, also now saying Saudi Arabia is a part of Israel? Is that what they're saying? Because I haven't even talked about Israel today. Oh, I guess we talked about Palestine with the quote, knife in a neck. Anyway.
Hope you're having a good day.
Okay. But yeah, they can get away with this sort of shit because they have oil and gas, okay? And we totally turn a blind eye. Like, we have done so much more to Venezuela in terms of brutality, sanctions, coup attempts, assassination attempts, literally fucking utilizing their chamber of commerce and their fucking giants of industry against the country's better interests, diversifying its own agricultural production and key sectors so that they're not over-relying on, so they don't have an over-reliance on fucking, so they don't have an over-reliance on oil, okay? All of that shit we have done, okay? For the crime of what? What Venezuela has done to its own citizens is nothing in comparison to what Saudi Arabia is currently doing with our weapons in fucking Yemen to the people of Yemen, to the citizens there. There's a current man-made famine happening there, okay? 70% children are food insecure, millions. And you're out here fucking telling me like, oh man, you know, we just, that's okay when Saudi Arabia does it because they're our ally, but we'll fucking punish Venezuelans for no reason. Like literally nothing in comparison to what Saudi Arabia does on a daily fucking basis.
Free Palestine.
People going forward, whataboutism is going to be treated like the same way that Just Curious is treated, because people learned a new word, so they just like say it all the time. It's just so fucking stupid because you don't know what you're saying. When I'm directly talking about America's involvement with Saudi Arabia versus America's involvement with Venezuela, that's not whataboutism. Like, whataboutism inherently is fucking idiotic, because if you care about hypocrisy, or if you want to genuinely recognize whether or not a person has consistent values, I thought that's what, because the people that, you know, say whataboutism or whatever the fuck all the time, the Just Curious Andys, the Debate Lord Andys, absolutely love talking about, like, you know, the moral integrity of the party that we're having a conversation with. Oh, moral integrity is actually the most important thing. What about your moral system? I'm trying to just understand your moral system. They're the first to fucking drop whataboutism the moment that you have a conversation about America's direct actions. Just so stupid. Stop.
Oil ban now, it's going to have a direct impact on the already skyrocketing gas prices right here at home. Our chief business correspondent.
Saudi Arabia is fighting the Iranian-backed Houthis in Yemen. The war is between Saudi and Iran, not Yemen. Dude, I hate this fucking take. You read like 3 things, okay? You read 3 things now. And now it's like it's the same exact fucking concept with Hamas versus Israel, right? It's like complete genocide denial, okay? It's like if I told you that Russia's actions in Ukraine were totally justifiable and moral because of the existence of the Azov battalion, okay? And except, you know, what Russia is doing in Ukraine is nothing in comparison to what Israel has done in Palestine to the Palestinians, and also what Saudi Arabia has done in Yemen to the citizens of Yemen. Okay? Holy shit.
Just curious, whataboutism?
And even then, it's still unacceptable. Despite that, it's not a one-to-one comparison, considering what Saudi Arabia has done and what Israel has done is way fucking worse. It's still unacceptable what Russia is doing in Ukraine. So the metric for my metric for what I deem to be unjustifiable acts of violence and imperialism is, I guess, different than yours because you don't have a fucking metric for it. You just go off the whims and whatever your fucking point of view is in that given moment from the last fucking YouTube essays that you read and listened to. Israel ain't worse than Saudi Arabia. The fuck? What Israel is doing to Palestinians and has done since its inception of a nation-state project is completely and wholeheartedly unjustifiable. It is literally an apartheid state. What the fuck are you talking about? Saudi Arabia is currently doing, it's like comparing atrocities. It doesn't matter, okay? It's like comparing rape and murder, okay? It's just both are fucking immoral, morally abhorrent, completely violent actions. It's so silly to compare one to the other. One is an apartheid state. The other one is doing active genocide in Yemen, okay? One is an apartheid state that isn't like killing as quickly. It doesn't matter which is worse. They're both horrible. Do Pol Pot next? Why would I talk about Pol Pot? First of all, I'm wearing glasses. Clearly not pro Pol Pot, okay? I got glasses on, dog. Do Pol Pot next? Like, that is actually whataboutism. Like, that is the one time when it's applicable. You're like, oh, dude, talk about the Tsar. Talk about Tsarist Russia. Like, what? It is not even remotely relevant to this conversation.
Rebecca Jarvis with more on this. Rebecca, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, and this is a significant financial weapon the U.S. can use against Russia, but it does come with a price for U.S. consumers. And you see it here at the pump. Gas prices this morning, a new fresh record high for.
Cousin Dima, how is it an apartheid state when its own Muslim Israeli, by the way, Knesset leader said it is in no way one? I wonder how the Muslim Israeli got to be in the Knesset. That's crazy that you say that. Yeah, totally, dude. You know, no black white supremacists exist. You can never have a, I mean, so first of all, the people of Palestine unfortunately have no adequate leadership. The only functional government they see as an emancipatory force, which also doubles as a functioning government, is Hamas in Gaza. Okay? The fucking the rest of the rest of the Palestinians have no adequate protection. Actually, they don't even have adequate protection. Hamas isn't even providing adequate protection. You can't do anything. You can't do anything to fucking missiles that are just striking non-fucking stop. Curious how you always avoid talking about Genghis Khan. Are you in the pocket of the big Mongol Empire? Yes.
Amused Trump and NELK interview happening today.
Dude, are you kidding me, dude? Am I in the pocket of big Mongol Empire? What a silly question. What a silly question. Let me respond to you really quickly. You asked me if I'm in the pocket of big Genghis Khan. Well, let me tell you something. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. The Great Golden Horde will take over once again. Okay? The pan-Turkic Turanist movement is alive and stronger than ever before. We will take down the Angloids, the Westoids once again. We will push them. We will push the barbarians at their gates where they stand. Not only towards where the Anglo-Saxons stood, but further into the water. This time, all the way into the ocean. They will have to build 10 walls to the east and 10 walls to the west. And we will take it back. We will. Anyway, all right, let's continue. This is why it's hard to show people your stream. Why? Because I think that the Because I'm a pan-Turanist, is that why? Which I'm not, by the way. That's...
Thanks for all of the great content and education, homie. Appreciate you.
Is that a cutout of the queen behind you? Damn, that hurts. That woman is banned in my country and many more. It's like the swastika here. Over 10 years, over 130K people deported, killed. Houses burned just for my country, including my grandfather family. I'm not really judging, just asking why you have it. That's an old... By the way, Dylan the Marmot is doing an old-ass meme, and it's not the queen, actually. He's talking about the hammer and sickle. That's a really funny fucking copy pasta.
$4.27 a gallon nationwide in just the last week. In this escalation, you have seen gas prices spike by their biggest amount ever on record, 63 cents higher in just 1 week.
Don't pan-Turanists think Finland is Turkish? Dog. Every Turk has a little bit of a pan-Turanist in them. It's just Americans have a hard time understanding this because your country is new, okay? It's too new. So you don't have like literally centuries of mythology that you can draw from. Like, you want to be independent from the British, and because of that, you just don't have like you don't have the fucking super long fucking history and myth that most of these other countries in Eastern Europe and most of these other countries on the other side of the world have, okay? Especially Turkey. The centuries of lore that go all the way back to the fucking steppes in Asia, okay? That's why every fucking Turk is, to some degree, absolutely batshit fucking crazy. They say indigenous people in the United States, like the Native Americans, are Turkish, okay? They say... Of course, Finnish people are Turkish immediately. Everyone is a Turk. If you ask Turkish people, they'll say everyone's Turkish. My grandfather, very well-read person otherwise, straight up, will tell me, unironically, Havasu, Lake Havasu. Okay? Havasu, what does that mean? Hava means air, su means water. That's the Turkish, those are Turkic words. The only like competitive lore building I've ever seen, like the only concerted effort that I've ever seen from like a thing that was incepted in America that has similar lore building is probably Mormons, and that's it. And we just laugh at their ideas, you know what I mean? But to be fair, Central America has way more lore than y'all. Everyone knows Turks are Mayans. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, no, it's the vice versa, right? Like, Turks will literally say the indigenous population in the entire continent is actually Turk. They're Turkic. Turkish people really be having all this history and lore, and they still spend 12 hours a day in Amuran's chat? I mean, yeah, because porn is blocked. So what are you going to do? Mexicans are Turks, 100%. So many people came from the Eurasian steppes. Turks, Serbs, Russians, and Mongolians, all the same. Like, the Christian supremacists will say that Turks came and, like, raped and pillaged Anatolia and Greece and the Byzantine Empire. And that same, like, European white supremacist attitude exists within, like, thinking that Italians are not white, also because they got raped and pillaged by Arabs, you know, like people with darker skin, so they're not fully white.
How long would it take to be?
You know what I mean? Like it's the vice versa. It's the alternative to what I was saying about everyone being Turkish. Like Turkish people believe everyone's Turkish, and then people in Europe believe that like anyone that's been touched by Arabs or Muslims, Moors, they're not fully white.
Who is from Mercane/Russia? Add me on Telegram. Wanna meet leftist from my country? At Vic_Satan.
Anyway, all right, let's continue.
Nationwide, in many places, seeing even bigger jumps than that. With Russia, one of the world's top energy producers, we got last year about 3% of our oil from Russia. If this continues, this escalation continues, TJ, Patrick DeHaan at Yes, Buddy, estimates that we could be paying 25 to 50 cents more for gas in the coming days and weeks.
Well, and Rebecca, in the meantime, a lot of American companies now, iconic American brands, are stopping business in Russia for the time being.
Russia is being isolated both financially, and now businesses are pulling out.
Wouldn't that make the Irish the purest white, but we aren't? Dog, that's the whole point. Whiteness as a concept, as a political tool, is completely fucking malleable and arbitrary. Yeah. The whitest people think that, like, the whitest people are whoever fucking holds the power, the levers of power. That's just it. That's why it's a substitution. Do you not understand? It's not, it has nothing to do with, like, it has nothing to do with skin color, which is why, like, in America, some people consider me white, others don't. But if I went to Germany, apparently, according to Germans, I would definitely not be considered white because I'm Turkish, which is a big, very active minority population there that is seen as not German. Do you understand? So it's not even about fucking, it's not even about the color in that situation at all.
You see McDonald's saying they are temporarily suspending, shutting down 850 of their restaurants there. Starbucks, PepsiCo, and Coca-Cola also among the companies that have said they're pulling out sales of some of their products. TJ?
All right, Rebecca, thank you as always.
Lebanese aren't Turks. You will never break the will of the people. Dude, don't even.
Now reaction.
Okay. Don't get me started on Lebanon, okay? I love Lebanon.
From the Kremlin about all this, and a look at the mood inside Russia as the war in Ukraine escalates. Eva Pilgrim is live in London with the latest. Good morning, Eva.
All I'm going to say, oh God, all I'm going to say is every North African, every minute boy in North Africa learned the consequences of collaborating with European nations, okay? The hard way. Straight up. The actual hard way. It's true.
Gas prices are high because oil companies.
I know, you guys are Phoenician. I know, Maurice is Phoenician. I know.
Climate Town's recent video goes over this. Sorry for spam.
Okay, mood in Russia as the war in Ukraine escalates.
On this oil ban, announcing that Russia will now ban the export of certain commodities and raw materials, although he didn't say what countries would be affected. This as a new poll finding, only 58% of Russians.
Bro, some Lebanese are so racist they refuse to call themselves Arabs. Excuse you, I'm Phoenician. Yes, Lebanese people, if they're Muslim, they won't say that. Muslim Lebanese people will say they're Arab. However, if you encounter a Lebanese person who is not Muslim, they will most likely tell you that they are Phoenician and that they are not Arab, and they will take a lot of offense to you saying that they're Arab. It's true, yes. And they will literally pull out haplogroups to fucking prove to you that their genetic lineage is drawn from a different breed, okay? They will say they're Lebanese and not Arab. Same with Turkish people. Turkish people hate when you say, it's one of the things that will trigger a Turkish person immediately. If you say a Turkish person is Arab, they'll be like, whoa, what the fuck? No, that's not true. And they'll get real racist with it too. They'll literally turn around and they'll be like, oh, dude, what? No, I'm not Arab. Arabs drive camel, bro. We don't drive camel, bro. What, you think we're Arab? It's like, dude, what Arab is driving camel? You think I live in desert in tent? Huh? You think I drive camel? I'm not Arab. And it's like, yeah, neither do fucking Arabs, okay? Persians get mad at that too. Nobody wants to be compared to Arabs. No one.
Support the military conflict in Ukraine. That's not a good starting point for Putin, and much lower than approval for his prior actions in Chechnya and Crimea. Now, support is especially low among young adults. This poll was conducted by independent survey research organizations in Russia, which we have vetted. They've asked not to be identified given the political situation there. And the Kremlin massively censoring the information available as dissent grows. The CIA director testifying Tuesday, they think 13 to 14,000 Russian citizens have been arrested protesting the invasion. These sanctions from the West hitting everyday Russians in a big way. Their debit.
Or you really got your Taycussy in time. Porsche to suspend Taycan production in Stuttgart Zuffenhausen plant. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bro, this was such a fucking fire move, dude. One of the greatest moves I've ever done. Literally, I bought a fucking Taycan, and the next week, the ship carrying Taycans lit on fire and is probably on fire underwater currently still. Okay. And then, you know, fucking the war happened. So now it's like they're not even making the Taycans. It's crazy, dude. An entire ship full of Taycans went down. It's probably the most like precog move I've ever done. Not going to fire when you need a repair. Good luck getting parts for repairs. You should literally sell your car before 0 parts become available. I'm an Arab and I don't want to be compared to Arabs. You chill. Why do you say stuff like that? That's so sad. Yeah, here, this is what I'm talking about.
A cargo ship carrying luxury cars.
4,000 Bentleys, Porsches, and Audis are burning in a cargo ship fire.
And Portugal's Air Force was sent in to rescue the crew. It happened off the coast of the Azores. 22 crew members of the Felicity Ace were evacuated by the Air Force and the Navy, and no one was injured. But they left behind 4,000 luxury vehicles on board, including Audis, Porsches, and Bentleys to burn. Their retail value was estimated at $400 million. While it's unclear what started the fire, officials say lithium-ion batteries in some of the electric vehicles ignited and made the
They literally just, and they go forever,
blaze
dude.
harder to fight, requiring specialty equipment. The fire is reportedly dying down as officials say there's little left to burn. Towing vessels are now en route to bring the ship into port somewhere in Europe or in the Bahamas. And it seems many Americans who were awaiting their sweet new rides are going to have to wait a little longer. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm...
You can't put water on those fires? No. Yeah. It will get worse. I actually don't know how salt water would work. You have to drown it out, right? You have to take care of it by somehow cutting oxygen around it. I guess you could explode it. You have to suffocate it. And
damn, a tuna
now
fish
you
is gonna
have
get
a
a
special
pound
mixture
before
to
I
put
do.
it out. Wow, imagine saving some valueless lives and leaving all those valuable cars. Yeah, dude, they should have been like, yeah, sorry. Lithium does not need oxygen? Wait, really? I thought lithium fires also still needed. I thought that's how fires worked. I'm wrong. I should ask Murat, who literally was a firefighter and is still a firefighter, so. Is it true Kurds and Turks are racist to each other despite looking almost indistinguishable? 1,000,000%. Yes. And me saying that is going to trigger the fuck out of some Turks and trigger the fuck out of some Kurds. It's same with fucking Greeks. But with Kurds and Turks, like, the religious component is, like, minor, okay? The religious difference is minor. Obviously, there's a bigger religious difference between Greeks and Turks. But, and same, Turks with Armenians, again, Christianity versus Islam. But, like, It's straight up the fucking same people, top and bottom all the way. The lithium-ion battery or Li-ion battery fire does not need any oxygen to burn at all because it can do that without any oxygen at all. The nature of the fire is recognized as completely chemical, so there's no role of oxygen in it.
7 months
that it can start this fire.
Has flex.
Anyway, let's continue. Russia moves towards nationalizing assets of firms that leave the ruling party.
As high.
Communism, brother, it's happening. I mean, this is the reason why they're doing this, of course, is because, you know, the sanctions. They have to control their economy. They have to make sure people don't die. And that's part of the reason why they're moving towards it.
And credit cards don't work. Company after company is shutting up shop. And many of the luxuries that they have grown used to over the years are pretty much vanishing overnight, Robin.
And Eva, we know you also have an update on WNBA star Brittany Griner, who was detained in Russia on drug charges, Eva?
That's right, Robin. Russian state TV airing the first photo of Brittany Griner, a booking photo reporting that she has been in custody for about 3 weeks. Griner was detained at the airport as she was entering the country, accused of having vape cartridges that contain hash oil. Now, we don't know a whole lot about her condition right now, but we do know that her agent and her team are desperately trying to get her home, Robin.
And many others. All right, Eva, thank you. Well, hey.
Bro, this is literally just like, this is straight up. Son in Ukraine, my dad in Russia doesn't believe we're being bombed.
U.S. officials estimate up to 4,000 Russians have been killed in the invasion of Ukraine. Yet Russian propaganda insists on...
22 months, Hasan.
I believe the U.S. estimations more than I believe the Ukrainian ones. That I will say. In situations like this, I believe, like, it could be a little bit lower than that even. But I think the U.S. estimations on the death toll of Russians is probably way closer to the fucking reality than the Ukrainian one, which is now like, what, 10,000 or some shit? Like, the Ukrainian officials are just like, yeah, a million Russians died, actually. Like, the most...
Smile.
Like, we've been able to kill every Russian, actually. No Russians are alive anymore. Obviously, the Russian numbers are also fake. Russians are like 3 Russians died. No Russians died, actually. The Russian side's like, no one died. There was a big boo-boo. One of our big generals had the boo-boo. They touch, they step on Lego when they walk inside a Ukrainian home to celebrate the orphans, Ukrainian orphans, by giving them kisses and gifts. And then the Ukrainian side is like, a million Russians have died. Every Russian is dead. Every Russian has died. No one is Russian anymore. So I do agree with I do agree with the U.S. estimates in this one, even though they obviously are on the side of Ukraine. Russia has publicly said around 500. Yeah, I don't believe that. What the fuck? Like, that's an insanely low number of people that have died, considering what we have seen with our eyes so far. Like, the confirmed reports alone, okay, of like shit that we have seen even on this broadcast of like broken down Russian equipment, that on its own is like at least a fucking 1,000, probably. Like at least 1,000 people. Obviously, the 500 number was like 7 days ago, so I'm sure they'll now say like 1,000. You believed in jets and armor? No, I didn't. I did not. What's wrong with you? Why are people so fucking aggro about like trying to maintain this idea that I'm fucking wrong? I did not believe it. It's so weird. Stop being weird for that reaction. Dude, there are leftists, and I say leftists with a fucking grain of salt here, communities that like literally are doing more propaganda about me being like fucking pro-Russia or some shit than right-wing communities at this point or neoliberal communities at this point. It's crazy. Like, someone literally fucking clipped a tweet out of context by straight up cutting it. Okay? Straight up cutting it when I was making fun of like pro-Russian propaganda, and this fucking dumbass literally clipped it. A tweet. Like, actually a tweet. He clip-chimped a tweet to make it seem like I was actually, spreading misinformation or some shit. And all of it is in an effort to, what I mean is that there's no way to tell. You can see photos and videos that are old. No, it's all an effort to just be like, dude, he's wrong. He's wrong on everything, and he's pro-Putin. It's so weird. Like, they're claiming that I'm spreading misinformation while literally doing misinformation.
Downplaying the severity, banning calling it an invasion or a war. They say,
and then like every person in those subreddits that like say, hey dude, this is wrong. Like, why don't you show the fucking full context? They get downvoted into oblivion, and then they upvote everyone that's like, Hasan's such a fucking dumbass, idiot, stupid, baboon-brained dickhead. I hate him.
A, B, C, D, E, F,
and it's
G,
crazy. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
propaganda insists on downplaying the severity, banning calling it an invasion or a war. They say it's a special military operation. The question has been, do the Russians buy it? So this morning we have something of an answer.
Dude, everything was a misunderstanding. So triggered. It's so stupid, dude. Stop being selfish. Stop being selfish. You get banned if you're being selfish, okay? Trying to derail a stream with 41,543 people that are trying to fucking learn and trying to watch the news is a selfish baby move. So I will fucking ban you. Absolutely, I will clap your ass cheeks. Yeah, the moment that I fucking respond to one troll, all of these other pathetic fucking losers who have absolutely nothing else going on in their lives, who want to literally fucking video game themselves and any other, and this is the only thing that's keeping them alive, immediately rush in to be like, oh, he'll fucking see what I have to say. And then when I clap their ass cheeks, they go and cry about it. Like, oh man, he can't really take any criticism, huh? He can't take any criticism, huh? It's like, motherfucker, there is no, that's not criticism to be like, you're triggered because I fucking spread misinformation about you and your position to like thousands of people on the internet with the deliberate hope of like making you look bad and wrong. Is actually just a prank, and you shouldn't be triggered by it. I'm just gonna keep lying about you. And then the moment that I fucking do something about it, you're like, oh, dude, I'm just holding you accountable, dog. No, you're not. You are trying to apply a moralistic attitude to your fucking psychotic stan behavior, but on the other side of being a stan. You just hate, and you're hate watching, and you want to make it seem like your hate watching is not for pure entertainment. And it's actually for a more important moral reason. There is no moral reason there, okay?
Our hive mind is a blank
Joining me is
slate.
Misha Katsirin. He's an intern appeal in Ukraine right now. And Misha, your father is in Russia. And after days of bombing and days of this invasion, you were wondering why he hadn't called to check on you in Ukraine. So you finally got him on the phone. What did he
Shout out
say?
to my brother Rito, who is playing Horizon Forbidden West.
Hisha,
Best
that was like the
community on
common
Twitch.
conversation. Hi, how are you doing? So, any word about war? And I asked him, do you know what's going on? And he said, yes, I've heard something. And I started to tell him how are my things and things of my family. I told him that we woke up from the bombing and that I took my little son, who is 8 months old, and we tried to to escape and to save the family. And he started to argue. He said, no, everything is not like this. And he told me that
It's
Russia
the top of
started
the
like
hour,
a
and if
peaceful
you don't
operation,
want to see the
and
ads,
they're
you can
trying
sub with
to
Twitch
save us
Prime
from
or
the
pay
Nazis
$5.
regime, which occupied our country. And the most interesting thing was that the Russian soldiers are giving to the local people food and warm clothes. So that's the thing he saw on the TV. And they said, no, father, now I'm here. I see what's going on. My friends also see what's going on. And he just could not believe in this. So I spent maybe 5 minutes trying to talk to him, and then I just say goodbye, sorry. So that was the first conversation.
There are a lot of stories like this. I don't know. I mean, this dude is like really telegenic. So obviously people immediately are like, well, I don't know if I believe this guy because he's very telegenic. But no, there are a lot of fucking stories like this of people who just, first of all, the connection between Ukraine and Russia obviously run deep. There are a fuckload of Russian people, holdouts from the USSR, or just Russian people that live there. There are people that have relationships with others across the border. Like, it's infinitely more complicated than the way that people try to understand it from the United States of America, looking at like Mexico and the United States. You know what I mean? People act like it's just like as cut and dry. It's as different. But it's, you know, it is significantly more complicated than that. Part of it is because obviously the USSR wanted to maintain influence over all the territories that it commanded, and part of that was also bringing in more Russian people. There's also into those areas, but then there's also like literally fucking the normal collaboration that occurs amongst countries that are the normal collaboration and you know, relationships that occur in countries that are so deeply connected to one another. Now,
Sussy.
My Russian coworker who lived in Ukraine won't shut the fuck up about how it's all fake and how awesome Putin is. From what I understand, there are literally fucking Russians living in Ukrainian borders that are still being like, dude, come on, give up. What the fuck are you doing? Russia's just here for a peaceful execution of peaceful affairs. Like, we should just give up. We should just give up. And they are still hardline bootlicking Putin. I'm surprised. I don't know how the fuck you do that when literal bombs are flying over your head. But holy shit. I mean, I guess there are. Then also there are... Hasan compares Russia and Ukraine to Mexico and USA. Lol, okay, soy boy.
3 months woo. Putin can sit on a cactus and spin.
But are they in Donbass or Kyiv? No, there are fucking, obviously, the more you go towards the West, the more Ukrainian, pro-Ukrainian sentiment and anti-Russian sentiment grows. The more northwest you go or the more west you go, that grows. Okay? We have looked at the polls. We've looked at the attitudes that Ukrainians have towards Russia, Russian involvement in their affairs, yada, yada. And the more eastern you go and the more southeast you go, the more pro-Russian sentiment grows. However, there are still, of course, going to be Ukrainians who are pro-Ukraine in the eastern territories, just like there are Russians who are pro-Russia in the West. The country itself is a little bit more. It's a lot more complicated than you know than the way that Western media tries to present it or the way that people try to present it. But it doesn't matter. Ultimately, like I said, it's completely unacceptable what Putin did, unjustifiable in every meaningful capacity. But it's not surprising at all that, you know, there is like literally Russian people who have children in Ukraine, like Ukrainians living in Ukraine, that they don't believe that bombs are fucking flying over their heads right now. That's what happens when you take your propaganda hook, line, and sinker and believe every single fucking thing. I mean, it's normal. It's a normal part of the process. Think about it this way. Think about how many people fucking freak out over anything I say that deviates from the normal Western media position about Ukraine. I'll say, I don't believe the Ukrainian numbers and casualties and fatalities in combat. I think that's propaganda. And people will be like, oh, dude, it's because you're literally fucking pro-Putin. You want to suck Putin's cock. You want to have sex with him. Like, you want to, you know, you love Putin. You're doing Russian propaganda. Like, it's, that's propaganda. You know what I mean? That's absolutely propaganda.
If we were
Like when people say, "Oh, this is live." Donald Trump on World War III talking to Putin and Joe Rogan.
If you had the
Fuck. Want to watch the PlayStation State of Play? No, not really. I wanna go back to this, but the fucking Bose speakers that I have, like I know you guys can hear it. I can't hear anything. The Bose speakers that I have. Hold on, I'm gonna play some lo-fi real quick, just so I can figure out when it turns back on. 1 second, I have to fix this. It's my fault. It's my fault that the fucking... Oh shit, what happened? Did it fuck up the audio? It's back. We're good. We're good. Audio's back. We're good. Can you please cover Korean Trump? He just won the election and is super reactionary. He said he would destroy feminism in Korea. Dude, I was just looking this dude up. Yoon Suk Yeol is a fucking psycho, dude. From what I understand, some of his takes are bananas. He's like advocating for the abolition of minimum wage. I mean, dude, he's got some shit, dude. The new, I know that we've been on a big South Korean kick. We've been on a big South Korean kick for some reason, but like, I gotta show you guys this. Hold on 1 second. Where is it? Where the fuck? Let me see if I can find it again. This dude has some insane fucking takes, dude. Actually insane fucking takes. He's like, he is a, yeah, okay. Oh my God. Why is everyone so fucking cancer about State of Play? Like, I don't understand. I'm a big fan of PlayStation. You guys already know this. But like, you guys are so fucking annoying. Yeah, in July, Yoon advocated for a 120-hour work week while critiquing President Moon's policy of the 52-hour maximum work week. He's advocated for a 120-hour work week. He wants to abolish minimum wage. Okay? He said he will ask nukes from the U.S. in pro-war against North Korea, from my understanding. Shit's about to pop the fuck off, dude. Shit is about to pop the fuck off. It's going to be mid, just indies, I think. Yeah, I don't want to fucking watch the PlayStation event right now. I'm not going to fucking cater to, like, the 3 weirdos in the chat who are like, hey, like, cut the fucking news broadcast to watch, like, 7 indie titles that PlayStation is going to reveal in 3 minutes. Okay. What lines of Victoria's Secret stores? What do you mean? Oh, is this in Russia or something? Victoria's Secret stores have been suspended in Russia since March 10. Today, the company suspended the work of online stores. People are going crazy buying Victoria's Secret. Standing solidarity with the people in Korea, I fear they might try to export work in the form of slave labor to the north. Green Gecko. Thank you for the gifted sub. I hate my gaming viewers. No, I love my gaming viewers, but I've been giving my gaming viewers a fuckload of content and a fuckload of action, and they are so disrespectful to every other form of content that happens on the stream. Like, they literally don't give a shit. They fucking, they're like constantly just only demanding, like, in the most aggressive way possible, demanding, like, no matter how mid some kind of content would be, the PlayStation State of Play is going to be
get a certain vehicle because
shitty.
of the amount of gas I would have to spend. It costs like $80
to fill it up.
And he said, then you said,
when it gets to half, then you put $20, you bring it back to full.
Yeah. But if I keep doing, I would have to stop more often and still spend 80.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Why?
You're complaining about when it gets to 0, you spend 80, right? When it gets to half, you put 20. Then when it get back to half, you put 20.
Yeah, but I'll keep stopping, putting 20 in, and it'll be 80, the same amount of gas. I'm driving the same amount of gas.
The average human stops once a week for gas, right? With you only work here twice. You would probably have to stop maybe once every 2 weeks. Don't even try it.
This is so stupid. Does he not understand how math works? What the fuck's going on? I mean, goddamn, Shaq. What a
2 years,
fucking
baby.
brilliant take. He's like, dude, he must be joking, right? Like, it has to be a joke.
Nobody travel more than me.
This is bordering on what's closer, the West Coast or the moon.
So
this
wait,
is bordering on that.
You're
telling me that I wouldn't have to, if I didn't let my gas get down, I wouldn't have to fill it up as much?
No, I'm saying you're complaining about the $80. That's what the conversation about.
But 4 times 20 is 80 because I'm going to stop 4 times.
No, you're not going to stop 4 times. No, you're not going to stop 4 times. Not in 1 week, you're not.
Anyway,
Kenny,
the West Coast is closer than the moon.
If you let it get to 0, right, Monday through Friday, right, then you got to pay 80 to fill it back up.
Right.
Okay, but if you let it get to half by Wednesday, then you pay 20.
No, it won't get to half by. Right, but if Wednesday it's going to be 40, and then on Friday it'll be 40.
Not 40, 20. It's going to be 20.
No.
It's going to be 20.
Not half. Half of 80 is 40.
But no, listen to what I'm saying.
I am.
Okay.
So if I just
no, you ain't gonna have to put gas in every day. Don't play me right now.
I'm not playing.
Don't play with me right now.
Of 1 year.
I'm sorry. Like, I really want to know because Ernie, I want to get this car, but I really want to save gas money.
You're
so
complaining.
Please tell me. I want to know how I'm gonna save gas money.
You're complaining about the $80.
Yes.
Right. So
I'm
at 0,
complaining.
okay. So at 0 is 80.
No question.
So right at full is 80, right?
Yes.
So if it gets to half, that'll be 40, right?
No question about it.
So if you put 20 in, then you bring it back up to 3/4. Right?
No, if I put 20 in, it'll get to 1/4.
Jeez, yeah. But it'll be 3/4. It'll be 3/4 full.
3/4 empty.
No, 3/4 full.
But who's on first?
A defiant Volodymyr Zelensky
He's like definitely trolling. There's no way.
House of Commons.
I think this is what liberals think a no-fly zone means. Oh, mine was funnier than this,
We will
dude.
fight in the forests, in the fields, on the shores, on the streets.
Zelensky likely reminding his audience.
I love when mainstream media is like, how Zelensky is winning the war on information, winning the information war against Putin. Dog, what do you mean? It's because, first of all, like, I'm not saying this is a good thing or a bad thing. No, I don't have a guess. It's just
of the wartime.
I'm not saying this is a good thing or a bad thing, okay? But like I'll give you an answer to that question, okay? The answer to that question is because Russian state propaganda is completely banned in the Western world, and also Western media is simultaneously doing propaganda for Ukraine and trying to offer moral support to Ukraine. No, I have one of Murat's homies is here. Anyway, so yeah, no shit. That's how it's working.
Time inspirations of Winston Churchill, who addressed the same body after the evacuation of Dunkirk.
We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender.
Of course, he's definitely trying to channel Winston Churchill. I mean, one thing that's very important to remember about Zelensky is he is a performer.
Zelensky's use of social media and other platforms has allowed him to dominate the information war. From his interview with CNN's Matthew Chance from his bunker.
First of all, everybody has to stop fighting.
To a defiant address from behind his desk on Monday, the first time he was seen there since the invasion began.
I'm staying in Kyiv, in my office. I'm not hiding, and I'm not afraid of anyone.
To a video posted on Facebook from the streets of Kyiv with his cabinet on the second night of the invasion, delivering a similar message.
The president is here. We are all here. Our military are here.
Analysts say there's no doubt Zelensky's almost daily messages have stiffened the backbone of the Ukrainian military and its citizens, and have even resonated inside his enemies' borders.
Some of his recent video messages, it must be said, have been quite powerful, including the message to the Russian people that he gave, where he basically called on them to resist this war, which was quite emotional.
The images of Zelensky meeting with his troops as they prepared for battle, of selfie videos posted from the streets.
This is our land, our country, and we are defending all of it.
These are products, analysts say, of a leadership team which knows how to connect with younger audiences.
They're very in tune with that younger generation. These guys really master.
Part of what I've recognized, part of what I've realized, it's actually kind of interesting to consider this. But notice how in the beginning phases when Russia tried to do strategic military deployments and actively try to take out their like air defenses and take over airfields and failed, you heard a lot about like the individual actions happening in real time. Like everybody fucking talked about like, you know, this is what's happening. They push back. They push back against they push back in Kharkiv or whatever. And now you don't really see that as much. That is another indication to me that Russia is doing better than they previously claimed on the military side, which is why you're not really hearing a lot from what the fuck's going on the ground, and that's why you're not hearing the Ukrainian forces actually take over, take some of those cities back from the Russian forces that have taken them over.
In a way that has been very effective.
Contrast that with the autocrat in the Kremlin, who sits distanced from aides at long tables and whose messages to his country seem increasingly disconnected.
He appears fearful. You just get the sense of a man alone, whereas Zelensky is among his people, among his team.
Putin is not bad about InfoWar. Putin's very good at InfoWar. What do you mean? You can't be a liberal and say Putin sucks at misinformation and simultaneously believe that his fucking misinformation caused Donald Trump to win the presidency. Okay? You can't hold both of these ideas at the same time. No, Putin is very good at fucking spreading misinformation. If anything, they have long history of being able to do that successfully, okay? And so is America, by the way. But the difference here is that he can't spread any sort of fucking misinformation if his outlets are banned, and and everything that he would ever, everything that like pro-Russian, everything that is even like remotely pro-Russian is like immediately lasered off this side of the fucking planet. Of course, that's how they're gonna win the information war. You know, that's what it is.
What should I do if I'm from Ukraine and I can't leave the country
it's like,
because I am 20 years male?
It's literally like fucking the Harlem Globetrotters playing against that other fake basketball team, and it's like, wow, why are the Harlem Globetrotters just fucking dunking on these guys? You know, it's like, I don't know, maybe because clearly that there is like the Washington Generals, like the Washington Generals are not supposed to win in that situation. Okay, so that's what's going on. That's part of the reason, and the other reason, of course, is that like, I mean, that's mostly what it is, really. That is the number one reason, if we're being real, if we're keeping it 100. Because, like, America has done such horrific things over and over again. Like, things that the Russian government demonstrably can't even get away with half of, okay? As we have seen so far. And they were able to fucking make it. They were able to fucking make it stick. They were able to do propaganda against it. They were able to change the narrative regularly, because that's what happens when you are the hegemonic Western superpower, right? And that's it. That's for the most part. Like, maybe if the West thinks Ukraine is winning via media, it'll keep Westerners from beating the war drum. No, it's not. As a matter of fact, it probably has the worse outcome here, which prolongs the protracted people's war against the Imperial Russian forces. Okay, that's what it is. The concept is that it extends the insurgency, and it probably pushes Zelensky further and further away from making concessions, while making the violence on the ground worse overall, because the Russian forces are going to keep squeezing, and they're going to keep getting worse and worse with their They're going to keep getting worse and worse with their fucking... with their violence. Also, on top of that, Zelensky faces Western pressure, probably, okay? But more importantly, we know for a fact that he's going to experience internal pressure from the Ukrainian people who don't want to make concessions to Russia, especially if they think that they're winning. Okay? Makes it way, way harder for them to negotiate. You know so little about this conflict. Yeah, you're right. Anyway.
Sussy chat is sussy.
Yeah, you're right. All right. But that's how he's winning.
And in the fight.
All of which means that if Zelensky is killed, imprisoned, or driven out, the loss of those messages would be devastating for Ukrainians. Analysts point out...
No, if Zelensky is killed, imprisoned, or driven out, it would be devastating for Ukrainians because Ukraine would literally fucking never, ever come to a peaceful solution, understandably. Because right now, they've turned him into a hero. He's doing the right things, okay? He is uniting his people. He's fighting. He's not fucking leaving the country, okay? And he will, if he becomes a martyr, it's over. Like, holy shit, it's so much worse. Right now, I feel like the only person capable, or at least that has enough of enough political capital to expend to be able to push for negotiations is Zelensky. That goes away, and you literally have the fucking Taliban, okay? You have the Ukrainian Taliban after that. Straight up. This guy's pogging hard as fuck thinking about that.
Now, there are other Ukrainian leaders who could take up the slack, like former President Petro Poroshenko or Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko, who have been bravely...
Both, by the way, would, in a heartbeat, go hyper fucking nationalist. Specifically, Klitschko, that was mentioned in the conversations that the Americans were having. Remember in the ambassador Nuland conversation, Nuland versus the Ukrainian ambassador, they were like literally talking about Klitschko and how easily how great it would be if they could put Klitschko in a position of power. So just remember that. Like, Zelensky is a lib, he's a centrist, and yeah, of course he has like corruption charges on himself, okay, and he's in the Panama Papers, yada yada yada. It doesn't matter. He is nothing. Like, he is nothing in comparison to what Klitschko would do, or his administration, his leadership is tame in comparison to fucking what Klitschko would do for the most part, I think. Okay. Or even the previous leader, squeaky clean in comparison. No, not squeaky clean, but it would be much, much worse is what I mean.
Thanks for the coverage, everyday hassle.
Transmitting messages from the streets, but it's unlikely they would have the residence of Volodymyr Zelensky. Brian Todd, CNN, Washington.
Was really an amazing moment, right? This was President Zelensky speaking to the British House of Commons yesterday, and he seemed to evoke Winston Churchill. Let's listen.
We will not give up and we will not lose. We will fight till the end, at sea, in the air. We will continue fighting for our land, whatever the cost. We will fight in the forests, in the
Why do they keep talking about why do they keep talking about Churchill? Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, Churchill was so good at delivering speeches. Yeah. You know what else he was good at? Genocide, motherfucker. Okay? Jesus Christ, dude. Western media is so fucking annoying. They literally don't even mention the top of the hour ad break when it comes at the top of every hour, sometimes 14 minutes late. And then you forget, the Twitch streamer forgets to tell you that, you can avoid those ads as long as you subscribe, whether for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get one free Prime subscription a month, and you can avoid the fucking ad breaks that way. Western media doesn't want you to know about this, okay? Here's the 1 minute ad break now. I'm quoting him. I'm quoting Churchill, and I'm quoting Zelensky, okay? Here it is. Here's the 1 minute ad break now, okay? Bro, 1 negative for 1,100 positives. I'll take that. Wait, did you just say one negative? Did you say genocide? Is one negative like a minor, like one negative for 100 positives? What the fuck? I feel like that's one that definitely just, I mean, wow. I don't know what. Okay, I got nothing on that one. You owned me. I'm bored of this. The how he's winning the information war conversation though.
South Carolina Senator
Jesse Water presses Lindsey Graham on Ukraine joining NATO. Let's hear.
Lindsey Graham. So, Senator, you understand where we're coming from here. Do you think that we should have been plowing full steam ahead to bring Ukraine into NATO? Was that our strategy here, or what was the strategy?
Well, I think you're misreading the tea leaves with all due respect. Putin gave a speech last year where he said that Ukraine was a fiction.
Less than 3.
If you don't believe Putin wants to take the Ukraine and make it part of Russia, you're not listening to what he says.
No, I do.
Okay, well, Moldova's next. Hitler did this whole thing. People didn't believe he had the ambitions he had.
I love when fucking, Lindsey Graham and literally fucking Lindsey Graham has the exact same fucking take as like your favorite YouTube essayist, by the way. I just, let's not even consider that to be a weird thing at all. We should not examine that even further. If your favorite YouTube essayist who declares to be a progressive and Lindsey Graham have the exact same take, don't you think that that's like a little cause for concern? Like the exact same take. Anyway.
He wanted to take over the world and kill all the Jews. Here's what Putin wants to do. He wants to recreate the Soviet Union. He thinks it was a low point in Russian history. In 1994, Jesse, the third largest nuclear nation on the planet was Ukraine. They signed an agreement with Russia, Great Britain, and the United States where they would give up their nuclear weapons with a promise by Russia to guarantee their sovereignty. Putin stepped all over that like Hitler did. So Putin's the bad guy. Biden's the incompetent guy. And I just want to say
well,
this.
I agree with that.
Okay.
And it was Bill Clinton that signed that deal to move those nuclear weapons out of Ukraine. If they had had nukes now, this would have been a different story. But do you think that American foreign policy should have been a little bit more delicate with Ukraine, maybe used a little more finesse and tried to keep it more as a buffer instead of just wrenching it out of Putin's hands and just bringing it right into NATO as aggressively as possible? Would that have changed things? Because now...
These are two fucking absolute idiots having a conversation about something that is never going to happen. It's so fucking stupid to have this conversation when you might as well be talking about fucking, I don't know, finding unicorns in the fields right outside of Kyiv, okay? Like, oh, what do you have to say about, this big population of unicorns we found in Western Ukraine? It's like, dude, you're literally having a convo about unachievable points that not a single person that actually has real proximity to power, which, by the way, Lindsey Graham also does and knows, but he's being oblivious on purpose, will ever really have a convo about, okay? It's like, when you talk to the people in positions of power, they already fucking know that this is not a real thing. It's so weird and so silly to have this conversation over and over again. And it is precisely the reason, partially, that so many Americans say things like, no, Ukraine is joining NATO. It's going to join NATO. Why can't it join NATO? Or, yo, Ukraine actually should have a no-fly zone. Oh, Ukraine actually should fucking have boots on the ground. Like, NATO should protect Ukraine. It's not. It's not happening. And the people in positions of power know that it wasn't going to happen. The idea, the fact that you even thought for a brief moment that was going to happen means you got duped by the media, okay? I'm sorry. Your consent was manufactured, and now you're pissing, shitting, and farting, thinking like, why couldn't this thing that was never going to fucking happen isn't happening?
Americans are suffering. Ukraine is definitely suffering, and who knows?
Like we got duped by you? Yeah, duped by me to fucking subscribe at the top of the hour for the 60-second ad break to avoid that. Is that what you mean? Just kidding. I already ran that fucking ad, okay? Double debated. Get fucked. Now these guys are talking about whataboutism, not you. Wait, what? It's not even... The conversation that they're having is so fucking stupid. And it's like continuing a project that was never going to happen. And it's deeply frustrating. And it's fucked up. It's fucked up to make Ukrainians believe that it was ever going to happen to begin with. And that's precisely what I criticize regularly. Okay? What is this? My mom is saying that all of her friends and relatives in Ukraine don't like Zelensky and don't view him as a hero. The portrayal of Zelensky in the media doesn't change his appeal to the people. Allegedly, they view him as the person who happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time and now has to act accordingly. I mean, it's not a monolith, okay? But it's not a secret that Zelensky's popularity increased understandably as he became like a figure that was deeply unpopular, who now is a figure that was deeply unpopular, or has his popularity had fucking been destroyed in the past years, to now someone who is majorly popular for understandable reasons. The idea that he is no longer the idea that he's no longer popular is silly. He's incredibly popular now. He wasn't deeply unpopular at the start, man. What do you mean? His popularity rating was at like 30%. Shut the fuck up. At the start, he won 70% of the vote. Okay? But he won with like 70%. And then what happened? Where was his popularity before the fucking war? The fuck are you talking about, dude? Yeah, when he won, he was popular, and his popularity waned until the beginning of the fucking war, and then it skyrocketed again. God damn, dude. People are just, I don't know if you like want to misunderstand what I'm saying deliberately or not. Like, people considered him to be not great. Do you want to know why? Because he ran on an anti-corruption campaign and then became corrupt. He run with like the servant of the people's show, and the servant of the people's party literally was about fucking anti-corruption and being against oligarchs and being against like foreign influence that destroys Ukrainians and places the interests of capital over the interests of the people. And then he literally did that. So, of course, people were not happy with that. Anyway.
Where the hell this could go.
They had the same arguments about Hitler. Why don't we just give him the German-speaking portions surrounding...
Low-key, Jesse Waters is like, you know, spitting, actually. I misunderstood. Lindsey Graham is doing the fucking same take, like, oh, no, it's appeasement. Bitch, you're not doing anything. Are you going to go? Are you going to fight? Are you going to go pick up arms and fucking defend Ukrainians? No? Then shut the fuck up. You're not going to send troops, because you and I both know that means World War III. That means nuclear holocaust. So why the fuck are you still posturing? Oh, it's just like Hitler. It's just like appeasement. It's just like appeasement. Okay, the opposite of appeasement is awarment, okay, is doing war. World War II is what happened in the aftermath of appeasement. Okay, so what's up? So that's the opposite of World War II in a post-nuclear world is nuclear holocaust. Okay, so is that what you're advocating for? You can't literally fucking, on the one hand, recognize that it would be an unmanageable condition, okay? It would be nuclear holocaust if you fucking invoked Article 5 and or it was a part of NATO. If Ukraine was a part of NATO and Article 5 would dictate that everyone has to fight. So it's two nuclear superpowers fighting against one another, i.e., you know, global nuclear holocaust.
Less than 3.
What are you advocating for? An immediate fucking ceasefire and negotiations that reinstitute the Minsk agreements and a full withdrawal of Russian troops from Ukrainian territories with recognition of Donbass as a autonomous, not sovereign, autonomous region with an allowance for a referendum if they want to. Okay? So the same as Putin? 1,000,000%, yes. You can't say that's the same as Putin and then also yell at me and say Putin doesn't just want autonomy for Donbass, but actually wants to fucking take over the entirety of Ukraine. Because if Putin's take is to take over the entirety of Ukraine, then I disagree with him. Okay, well, that's not going to happen. Well, that's how we're here in the first place. People think negotiations means like, you know, you take your ball and you go home and you leave. Why the fuck do you think Putin would go for that? I don't know if he would go for that. My point is, even if he's not going to go for that, there is no reason not to try it. There's no reason. Because right now, nothing is happening. Right now, the only thing that's happening is Putin is bombing the fuck out of Ukraine and taking over more strategic positions in an effort to launch the second part of his fucking invasion. That's all that's happening. Okay? So we can just sit on our fucking asses, okay, with our dicks in our hands, jerking off about how sexy Zelensky is, like he's a fucking, you know, he's Captain Ukraine, and saying, let's do it. Let's fucking, let's talk about how much we love Ukraine and how much we care about Ukraine, while simultaneously keep telling him like, no, we're going to give you javelins and put them into a further compromised position because it only extends the fucking bloodshed. Okay? At least if you try to diplomatically solve the situation, you avoid further casualties. And if it didn't fucking work, then it didn't work and it wasn't going to work anyway. Okay, so then you're literally at the same standstill. You're at the same position you were yesterday. The only thing is you tried your fucking best. Because ultimately, no matter what happens, you're just, let's be real. Let's call a spade a spade. Someone is going to tell me that that's actually racist or some shit. I don't know if that is true. But let's call a spade a spade. And if it is, I'm sorry, okay? But let's be fucking real for a second, okay? Let's be real for a second. Let's call it what it is, okay? The only thing Americans will offer to the Ukrainian people right now is thoughts and prayers and javelin missiles, man pads, and, maybe Polish MiGs, okay? Maybe. That last part, we don't even know it's going to fully happen. Now that's going to help the Ukrainians in the short term, but it's only going to continue the war for another week, another 2 weeks, another 3 weeks, more deaths, more casualties. They're going to start fucking leveling entire cities in a way that they haven't yet. There's no way out of this. So what happens a week later? Okay, we'll give you more guns. Okay, more people are dying. Okay, we'll just give you more guns. You're not going to send in NATO troops because conflict with NATO countries against Russia, a nuclear superpower, means mutually assured destruction. Russia knows this, and NATO nations know this. And the worst part is, like, we're just lying to the Ukrainians on the internet, just straight up. They want to believe that America has their back, that, like, they'll do a fucking no-fly zone. No, of course they're not going to do a no-fly zone. That would be insane. They want to do a no-fly zone. They're like, please do a no-fly zone. Clear our skies, clear our skies, clear our skies. Okay, but it's not going to happen. The American government has said it's not going to happen, and it's not going to happen because that would be World War III. That would be nuclear holocaust. If you're Ukrainian, if you are a Ukrainian, obviously you're already in World War III, so it doesn't matter to you, okay? Like, look, here, the moment when a Russian MLRS barrage hits a suburb, here, look. That's what they're fucking fleeing. That's World War III to them already. It's already happening. But the Western world is not going to engage in World War III for Ukraine. Here's a little secret. The rest of the world might not even engage in World War III for the Baltic states either. A genuine fear that every Polish person in a position of power recognizes too. Because Poland or any of these Eastern European nations that are a part of NATO are not actually, France or Germany or the United States of America. Okay? That's why you hear so many motherfuckers who are like, I'm in Estonia, I'm in Lithuania, I'm in fucking Finland. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Is this like, should we be worried that Russia's going to invade? Because they know, they fucking know that America might not even give a single fuck about them to avoid nuclear, mutually assured destruction and nuclear catastrophe. Now, the only leverage in that situation is that you are severely destroying NATO's influence, like its influence throughout the sphere, across the sphere. So that is part of the reason why they might actually flex and defend these countries, just to be like, no, there is something. There is something here. If you're in NATO, we have to defend you. Article 5 will 100% defend you unconditionally. Okay? But that is a real fear. And Ukrainians on the ground abso-fucking-lutely say the no-fly zone, whether they believe in it or not, the no-fly zone demands are not being heard, and it makes them feel like they're in World War III right now, but the rest of the world does not care about Ukrainian people. The rest of the world cares about Poland because it's a part of NATO, but not as much as they care about the Ukrainian people. Well, I'm here to tell you, the rest of the world doesn't care about Poland either, okay? If we're talking about America, they don't give a fuck about Poland either. The only thing they would do in that situation if Poland was ever under attack is to reinforce NATO's spherical influence, okay? That's it. That's the only reason why they would ever defend one of these fucking countries. That's the truth. Because if NATO doesn't protect every nation in NATO, they're contractually obligated, then the treaty is basically worthless, isn't it? 100%, yes. Now, of course, if you have U.S. troops, you should feel pretty protected. If you have U.S. troops in your country, like Poland currently does, you should feel protected. Because the United States will consider that to be an act of war, and Russians know that that's an act of war against the United States. But if there were no U.S. troops, holy fuck! If you think the United States would protect like Lithuania, you know what I mean? When there's no U.S. troops there, if there were no U.S. troops there and Russia wanted to go in, I don't know. They could. And for those who are saying there are U.S. troops there, dude, I know, except, if they actually thought for a moment that Russia was serious, maybe they would pull out. Find a reason to. Who knows? Look at what happened in Ukraine. What? If we can't have a no-fly zone, we should do a we-fly zone from the Brookings Institute. Lamau skipped the 1 minute. No shot. Wouldn't that be Article 5, though? It is. It is Article 5. But as a chatter pointed out, Article 5 was technically violated before with, Turkey versus Russia. Turkey's also, Turkey's also invaded other, or have been in active conflict with other NATO nations. You know what I mean? Turkey, Article 5 doesn't work for Turkey. You know what I mean? But that's Turkey. That's an entirely different league of its own. They're just crazy out there. Don't worry about Turkey. Turkey's currently engaging in a kind of Cold War with literally Greece, which has never stopped, and also France. So in Libya. So Turkey is just doing its own thing. Turkey is a madman playing both sides, buying fucking American weapons, buying American F-35s, and then turning around and buying Russian anti-air defense systems. So don't concern yourself with what Erdogan is doing, okay? He just, I don't know. He's like, I play both sides, so I always come out on top, okay? That's what he's doing. Turkey did not invoke Article 5. No, I know it didn't. I'm saying that it was touch and go with respect to, first of all, Turkey did not invoke Article 5, but Turkey's literally fought other NATO countries. What do you mean? And also, Turkey and Russia. No, you misunderstood me. No, Article 5 is when troops are fighting on third countries. Only Article 5 when territories are hit. Yeah, except that would imply that, U.S. sending troops into Ukraine would not invoke Article 5. Because Ukraine would be considered a third country. And they're not doing that. No matter what you think about what Article 5 is, they still consider it an act of war when a fucking official American government or an American military that is on an official American military mission is being killed by a Russian soldier. Hey, if all countries should have nukes, why not push nuclear reactors to partially solve our carbon crisis? Dude, the HasanAbi doctrine is alive and well. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, Turkey shot down a Russian plane that entered its airspace. I mean, we patched that shit up, though. Turkey patched that shit up with Russia because, Black Sea. Phosphorus control, Black Sea, pipelines. According to the Euromaidan press, Ukrainians reject Russia's demands. Poll finds 79% against recognizing LDNR as Russian, 75% against recognizing occupied Crimea as Russian, 56% are against the ban on Ukraine's membership in NATO, even if it ends the war. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Also, 100% of Ukrainians could want a no-fly zone, but it's not fucking happening. Guess what? Because it doesn't matter. Also, how are they polling in the middle of war? What the fuck? Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Whoop whoop.
You think the cold response training NATO countries are about to start will provoke Russia further? No. That response team is just for defending NATO nations, not for actually fucking going into war. People misunderstand Article 5 is not instant. The country that was attacked has to invoke it. Then you need unanimous NATO vote. Turkey never did that. NATO only had a mission in Afghanistan due to 9/11. Yeah, do you think that the unanimous vote that would have never come for NATO admission for Ukraine would come, in your opinion, for invoking Article 5 against Poland? Like when Poland invokes Article 5, do you think that like France and Germany would be on board with that? I don't know. I'm just asking. I know all the fucking Baltic states would be on board with that because, they're in the same fucking boat as Poland.
Constant source of info and stability in this time less than 3.
I don't know. I actually don't know. I literally don't know. I'm telling you, I don't.
Why don't we give him Austria? You got to understand who Putin is. Putin's not trying to have a buffer zone from NATO. He's trying to destroy the Ukraine and make it part of Russia. He's trying to recreate the Soviet Union to the best extent possible. And Taiwan is going to be given up if we think like this. I'm not going to let Putin control NATO. NATO is an independent organization. Nobody in NATO is going to invade Russia. But if you don't believe that Putin's ambitions are to reconstruct the Greater Russia or the Soviet Union, you're missing what he's saying.
I do. I agree.
Okay.
And I think that's what his motivation is.
Yeah. So
I'm just saying maybe that aggressive approach to Ukraine might have made things a little differently. I could be wrong.
Well,
I could be wrong.
Listen, I really like your show because you let people talk, number one, and you ask good questions. Here's where I think we made a mistake. We should have punched Putin in the nose when he had 100,000 troops on the border of Ukraine. We should have went after the oil and gas sector early on to maybe...
Wait, what? Oh, he just means like sanctions. I was like, what the fuck? Like, we should have punched Putin in the nose by invading Russia. I thought he was going to be like, by invading inside the Russian borders. Okay? They never would have seen it coming.
deter the invasion. At every moment, Biden appeased Putin, and here's what you have.
Yeah, totally. You know, famously, he's not deterred by. He's not deterred by what happened in the sanctions post-invasion, but before invasion, he totally would have been deterred. War is officially over. It's over.
Among us sus. Sugar amagamas yasus asushis.
Today, you have good people in the Ukraine fighting to the death for their freedom. You have the Russian army stalled. I think the Chinese are watching how we deal with Putin, so are the Iranians. So what happens in the Ukraine?
Iranians?
The Ukraine?
What the fuck? What more can you do to Iran, bro? What do you want to do? Do you want to just nuke them? What do you need to do more to Iran? Like, China is one thing, okay? Apt, for sure. I'll give you that. But Iran? What is Iran going to do?
Let's help the Ukrainians fight back as hard as they can. Yeah. Let's start destroying the ruble. You know why Biden went after Russian oil and gas? No change of heart, change in politics. Americans are pissed that we allowed Putin to get so reckless and so strong. Biden makes Chamberlain look like Churchill. So here's my view of this, and I said it on your show weeks ago. When it comes to bullies, stand up to him. Putin has a pair of twos. We have a full house. I want him to go. I want his regime to end. I hope.
What do we have? We have nothing. We have nothing. What a joke, dude. We have nothing. We have absolutely fucking nothing, dude. What is happening right now? We have nothing.
Lindsey Graham looks like he lives in Bikini Bottom.
People in Russia will take the bastard out. If we'd done this 20 years ago, we'd be a lot better off. What have we learned from history? The longer you let people go who murder, rape, steal, and plunder, you live to regret it. So now's the time to be all in to help the Ukrainian people fight for their own freedom. No boots on the ground, but we can turn the tide of battle. And we got to tell the Russian people, you will never have a normal life if you follow this guy Putin. We're going to destroy the Russian ruble, the Russian economy. And I'm hoping somebody in Russia will step up to the plate and do what they should have done in Germany.
I got to get your answer on this, Senator. The Poles sending MiGs to us in Germany, it seems like they're forcing our hand a little bit. What do you think about that? And also, are you for a no-fly zone?
I'm not for a no-fly zone. you know, one of the things you've been talking about, World War III is not going to happen because of this engagement. But what could happen is that China could take Taiwan and Iran could see our weakness and try to get a nuclear weapon. That could start a nuclear arms race in the Mideast. I'm all for the MiGs going from Germany back into the Ukraine. Let the Ukrainian pilots come to Germany, fly them back into the Ukraine and take the fight to the Russians. This is a defining moment in European history. It's a defining moment in American history. Putin can't determine who's in NATO, and Putin doesn't want to stop NATO. He wants to reconstruct the Soviet Union and the Russian imperial life. And we got a chance here to deliver a fatal blow to Putin. The best chance in 20 years, and God bless the Ukrainian people for having the guts to fight for their freedom.
All right, we'll see how it plays out. Senator Lindsey Graham, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's discuss what's going on with retired U.S. General David Petraeus, the former CENTCOM commander, also former CIA Director General. Thanks so much for joining us. As you know, the U.S. now believes, 8 to 10% of Russian military assets have already been destroyed in less than 2 weeks of fighting. Can they sustain that rate of loss for several more weeks or even months?
Well, it remains to be seen, Wolf. I very much agree with Jim's assessment. This is a grinding affair. Also, the assessment by retired General Anderson that, again, it's a race between our efforts to supply the Ukrainians and the Russian efforts to actually resupply their forces. Their logistics have been woefully inadequate so far, and to get set so they can finally launch what they believe will be the main effort attack on Kyiv. Of course, they want to replace the Zelensky government with one that is pro-Russian. That's the overriding objective. But it's also a race, I think, Wolf, to see how long the Russian soldiers can maintain the intensity. They're about to enter the most difficult of all combat, and that is urban combat. And we used to discuss, how long can you keep soldiers doing this? How many more buildings, how many more rooms can a soldier enter? Each time they enter, the adrenaline's pumping. It's a very grinding, draining experience. And I don't know that Russia has the replacements. You'll recall in Iraq and Afghanistan, we replaced some of our forces every 6 months. Our soldiers, our army forces were replaced every 12 months, 15 months during the surge, a long time in combat, but we always had that rotation going. I'm not confident that Russia can replace the forces that it's losing, much less the entire complement of the forces when they're spent, when they culminate. And again, this is not just physical, and it is grinding physically, again, urban combat, but it's also the mental toll that urban combat takes on those who are the boots on the ground. And when you strip away all the other systems and logistics and tanks and artillery and so forth, this really comes down to infantry on the ground who are going to have to go in after Russia has pummeled, in some cases rubbled, areas of the city and clear those. And in the meantime, on the other side, you have the Ukrainian defenders fighting for their homeland, determined not to let Russia take their capital. And this is going to be a tremendous showdown. And I'm not convinced that Russia can just crush Ukraine the way that many observers perhaps thought before we saw how woeful some aspects of Russian tactics, logistics, and even campaign design have been.
Yeah, it certainly hasn't happened yet. The CIA director, you heard her, you heard him say Putin overestimated his own military capacity while underestimating Ukrainian resistance as well as the international response. So why did Putin so gravely, by all accounts, miscalculate?
Well, I'm sure that, first of all, a lot of his advisors are very cowed, very intimidated by him. You even saw that, actually, with his showdown with his intelligence chief in one of those bizarre, surreal conferences that he had, long speech and so forth. Beyond that, of course, they did prevail in a way in Syria. Of course, the way they prevailed ultimately was they destroyed Aleppo. Again, it was Syrian forces on the ground, though. It was not the Russian forces. They were doing the bombing campaign and some special operations. The same in Grozny. If we remember, that was a long, protracted campaign. There's some real differences here. And number one is just the sheer quality, capability, innovativeness, resourcefulness of not just, again, the Ukrainian soldiers it's also the partisan.
Bro, the Ukrainians are very good, but resourcefulness is fucking psychotic when you compare a kitted out Ukrainian territorial defense force that has like NATO javelins to motherfucking rebels in Aleppo, dude. Are you kidding me? Are you insane, dude? No, I don't know why they just won't say it. Like, the real reason why Ukraine is putting up a fucking better fight is because, one, Ukrainians are more battle hardened, and it does not look like a 2014 Ukraine anymore because they actually have like something resembling a standing military and territorial defense forces. Okay? But more importantly, 8 years of fucking ongoing war in Donbass has created a lot more veterans and a lot more trained people. But more importantly than that, not this like they have a reason to fight. They want to fight their homeland. They want to defend their homeland. Like, no, that shit doesn't matter ultimately, okay? What fucking matters is who has superior firepower and more people, more bodies to throw at the problem. The reason why they're fucking winning is because they have a shitload of NATO guns. And he's right about that. He does admit that. Or not winning, but you know what I mean. And in this situation, it's not even a bad thing. However, it is extending this.
Units and even the other resistance. This is the equivalent of, the French in World War II, who are just finding every diabolically creative way to make life difficult for the Russians, whether it's jamming their frequencies, changing road signs, or actually picking off the fuel trucks in that 40-mile convoy to exacerbate the logistical challenges that Russia is already experiencing. So again, this is going to be a tremendous showdown in Kyiv. And again, I don't know how long the Russian soldiers can keep at this. If you think of the losses, I mean, they're approaching again, the very high estimate there is starting to approach what we lost in 20 years of combat in Iraq. And I remember how difficult some of those weeks and months were.
Oh man, poor you, dude. I bet it was so difficult for you. Sending fucking kids to die. So difficult. Oh man. God. Yeah. Also, the reason why it's different is because, again, whether you want to admit it or not, and people say this is fucking propaganda, but like, America cares more about the safety and security of its own fucking military members over the lives of the people that they're supposedly bringing democracy to. That's just the reality. Russia doesn't have that same attitude. Yeah, sure, they're still fucking, of course, murdering Ukrainian civilians as well, such is the nature of war. It's incredibly fucked up. That's why we're anti-war here, okay? Anti-imperialist, anti-war. But let's be fucking real. That is also the other reason, because we haven't seen shock and awe yet. We haven't even seen a fucking shock and awe style campaign yet. Like, holy fuck. That was day one for America.
I can imagine what the strain must be on the tactical level. Commanders, those above them, and of course they've even lost some multi-star generals, another one of them just in recent 24 hours or so.
Yeah, it's not going well for them. We'll see how desperate Putin becomes. General David Petraeus, as usual, thank you so much for your analysis. We appreciate it.
To that high-stakes legislation in Florida headed for the governor's desk. Critics calling it the Don't Say Gay bill. Victor Oquendo is in Miami with what it could mean for teachers and students.
This morning, the Parental Rights in Education bill, which has gained national attention, sparking statewide protests and student walkouts, heading to the desk of Governor Ron DeSantis, who's expected to sign it into law.
We're going to make sure that parents
are able to send their kid to kindergarten without having some of this stuff injected into their school curriculum.
The legislation, dubbed the Don't Say Gay Bill by critics, bans lessons in sexual orientation or gender identity in kindergarten through the 3rd grade, and any instruction that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students in accordance with state standards. The bill, which does not define what is age appropriate, would allow parents to sue school districts or teachers if they believe the policy is being violated.
This is the Republican strategy all the way down to a fucking T. Create a problem where no such problem existed. Okay. Create a problem where no such problem existed. No, you can't do it through like the legal field, because it would be immediately declared unconstitutional. So throw weaponized Karens at the fucking problem by allowing parents to sue school districts they believe a policy is violated. We literally, speaking of protracted war, we have a protracted Karen's war in this country. We activate Karen battalions and have been doing so for a very long time. This is like the Republican Party strategy is quite literally to just activate random fucking bored, outraged citizens to work against their local governments in an effort to stop, certain things from occurring. It's like the bounty system in Texas. Unconstitutional to ban abortions, but maybe it's not unconstitutional if you fucking weaponize other humans and lawyers against the individual acts, individual people that are engaging in such acts.
Violated. Supporters argue the bill is not about targeting particular students, but empowering parents.
All it does is state what is age, it talks about what's appropriate in the classroom to teach.
LGBTQ plus community advocates warn this will prevent teachers and schools from helping the 52% of LGBTQ youth enrolled in middle or high school who reported being bullied in the last year, and the 42% who reported seriously considering suicide.
You have bills like this that is now preventing teachers from being able to express and share and be able to console students who might bring these type of issues to school.
And Governor DeSantis, who has signaled support for the bill, now has 7 days to sign it. Guys?
All right, Victor, thank you. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our
psychotic. Doesn't this mean they can't talk about heterosexuality? Let's be real, brother. One is the normative position, so it doesn't matter. You don't need to talk about it. And if you were to talk about it, who the fuck's gonna get mad? A plastic fork? I don't order it. It came. What do you want me to do? Throw it out? When people send you, like when you don't order a plastic fork, but it comes anyway, should I just throw it out? Is that better? Just waste it? Going back to Russia, though, we took a note of Russia's false claims about alleged U.S. biological weapons lab and chemical weapons development in Ukraine. We've also seen Chinese officials echo these conspiracy theories. I find this really funny. Okay? This is a fucking hilarious turn of events, okay? Absolutely hilarious turn of events. Why? Because we did this already to China. We literally, our State Department literally did this to China. In the beginning of COVID, and, the trickle-down impact of that has stayed, okay? It's stayed around. So now they're doing it back to America, which is wonderful. I will show you. Now, this is, Glenn Greenwald posted this, so the framing, in my opinion, is wrong, but let's hear what Marco Rubio and Nuland had to talk about. Originally, I thought there were no biological research facilities there, but it makes sense that there are. Population center, just like I talked about with China. It makes sense that America is funding those, those labs, those biolabs.
Well, I only have a minute left. Let me ask you, does Ukraine have chemical or biological weapons?
Ukraine has biological research facilities, which, in fact, we are now quite concerned Russian forces may be seeking to gain control of. So we are working with the Ukrainians on how they can prevent any of those research materials from falling into the hands of Russian forces should they approach.
Rome. So this is a psychotic way to cover this. Like an absolutely insane, a completely psychotic way to word this, because you're literally allowing when your horniness for Russia and your anger for Russia, your anger or your interest in like making Russia be even worse than they actually are when they are bad, bites you in the fucking ass, because now you're making it seem like you do have fucking bioweapons in the biolab. You literally, do you want people to think that you have bioweapons in the lab, dude?
I'm sure you're aware that the Russian propaganda groups are already putting out there all kinds of information about how they've uncovered a plot by the Ukrainians to release biological weapons in the country and with NATO's coordination. If there's a biological or chemical weapon incident or attack inside of Ukraine, is there any doubt in your mind that 100% it would be the Russians that would be behind it?
There is no doubt in my mind, Senator, and it is classic Russian technique to blame on the other guy what they're planning to do themselves.
Bro. Say there are no bioweapons, please. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? You can't, on the one hand, admit that there's a biolab there and not offer clarity that there isn't any like materials there that could be used in this way, and then turn around and if they were used, it'd be Russia's fault. Okay, then why the fuck were they there then? They could easily just turn around and say, oh, so there are bioweapons there. Okay, nice. Good to know. What the fuck were they doing? I can't believe this, dude. And no, I don't believe that this is like fucking real dirty bomb or anything, okay? Really good cleanup by Rubio, interrupting Nuland's bizarre confession, which he did not expect, and immediately... Okay, Glenn Greenwald's framing of this is like definitely guiding people to... feel some type of way about it, including myself. When I first saw this, I was like, holy fucking shit. But you could not mathematically come up with a worse way to answer this, okay? Like in an effort to try and turn this around to like Russia will use bioweapons, to say Russia will probably use bioweapons, you've made it seem like you have bioweapons in that lab now to a lot of fucking people. So good luck. Good job.
Or biological weapons.
Ukraine has biological research facilities, which, in fact, we are now quite concerned Russian forces may be seeking to gain control of. So we are working with the Ukrainians on how they can prevent any of those research materials from falling into the hands of Russian forces should.
Like, why can't you say? Why would she lie though? Wouldn't that make it worse? If you're gonna say, if there's any sort of like, you know, dirty bomb or whatever, if there's any sort of dirty bomb, then Russia, and if you're gonna say that Russia did it on its own, then why don't you just fucking lie? Why don't you just say, of course there are no bioweapons there. There are simply biological matter that you could use as a weapon. You could technically use every biological research as a weapon or something like that. Okay? It's just simple, regular, basic fucking research. But no, she's so fucking horny to be like, no, you know, Russia might use bioweapons. Who knows? That you can't even say like, that it's just like regular research. You make it seem, you say it's like, you say, oh, there's research materials that we're terrified Russia might have access to. Yeah, when you fucking say that, then you make it seem like there were bioweapons there, okay? I'm just being honest. You're basically making it seem like there were bioweapons there, and why were there bioweapons there? Who knows? I mean, you don't know what they have there. They could have smallpox samples for study. Dude, they've been so fucking broad open with every type of like Russian intelligence that they've intercepted. Why the fuck can't they say, here is what they have there. If you see any of this being used as a weapon, if you see any of this being weaponized, you know that that's where it's coming from. Okay? It's not supposed to be that way, but you can, you know, it's not intended to be used that way. And yeah, the fucking QAnon freaks have been freaking out about this and saying that that is definitely happening for a while now. So it's great. Fucking awesome, dude. They do have them, Hasan. That's why they said that. I mean, what's a fucking bioweapon, dude? Is COVID a bioweapon, or were they actually just fucking working on bats? Like, did it even fucking come out of the Virology Institute? A bioweapon is whatever you're working on that you can turn into a dirty bomb or a bioweapon, okay? You need to offer incredible amounts of clarity in a situation like this to ensure that people do not misunderstand your words. And either A, they do have fucking bioweapons there, or B, I mean, yes, exactly. All pathogens are bioweapons. Exactly. That's what I mean. Obviously, there's a difference, though. If there's like a human, the only difference in that situation is if there's human involvement and like genetic modification or any sort of like actual modification that is unnatural can be easily traced. But isn't she saying they have bioweapons, though? I mean, she kind of is, and I don't think that's what my anger is in this situation. You have zero medical background. Why are you ranting? Says Bezos puppets. Here's what I think, and I may be completely wrong on this, but I personally think that she's so horny to fucking get another like round of Russia bad out that she fucking worded this in the worst way possible because she understands that pathogens could technically be considered bioweapon in the wrong hands. Okay? Because you could literally turn around and weaponize anything. I mean, you can weaponize cow fertilizer. You can weaponize fucking cow shit. You can weaponize soap. You can weaponize so many different things. Okay? So instead of saying and offering clarity in the situation as to like what is being worked on there, which is whether it's a normal part of the process or not, she literally made it seem like it was fucking. They definitely have dirty bombs that they're working on in there, and that. Why didn't she say no? The reason why she didn't say no. The reason why she didn't say no is because whatever they're working on in a bio lab, you could technically release out into the fucking world, technically. You completely misunderstood what she said. She's saying if bioweapons are deployed, it's because Russia brought them in, not because Russia and Ukrainian bioweapons that are already there. How could you miss that? Dude, are you fucking kidding me? You can't, in a situation where you're being asked by Marco Rubio if there's fucking bioweapons or not, turn around and try to cast doubt, okay? That's my take. Even if what you're saying, which is the charitable answer here, the charitable interpretation, which is what I'm saying, I'm trying to be as charitable as possible to what she's saying here, I'm saying that's still bad. Saying it like that makes it seem as though there are fucking bioweapons there. And that's why this has 9,000 retweets. And that's why there's so many people in here. How would your stance in this situation change if they have dirty bombs? I don't know. I mean, what do you mean? If they were like literally actively working on bioweapons in a fucking, in a lab in Ukraine? I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, that's not true. I would be surprised. I actually would be surprised because it's like so fucking stupid to do it in Ukraine. Like, do I believe that the American government works on shit like that? Absolutely. I mean, dude, come on. Remember the Anthrax debacle in the aftermath of 9/11? What happened? What happened to all that anthrax? Did we ever find out who was sending mail bombs to everybody? What happened to the facility that hosted all of the fucking anthrax samples so we could actually fucking figure out exactly where that sample came from? Oh wait, the FBI fucking destroyed that. That's crazy. Obviously, we do shit like that all the time, but we do it in fucking Illinois. We don't do it in fucking Ukraine, okay? That's insane. That's what I mean. It is a super compromised place to fucking do bioweapon research, okay? For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, just Google it, okay? What I'm talking about. I think it's like a psychotic place to do this kind of research, considering how, easy for espionage it would be. Russia has its tentacles all over Ukraine. You're crazy. You're telling me that a country that had literally a fucking pro-Putin puppet running it until 2014 was also simultaneously internally experimenting with bioweapons at the behest of NATO nations? Like, come on. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. The FBI and the CDC both gave permission for Iowa State University. It wasn't Illinois, it was Iowa. Fuck, I got it wrong. God damn it. Iowa loses once again, dude. The one time I didn't want to give it to Iowa, Iowa takes it again. Yeah, the FBI and CDC investigation was hampered by the destruction of a large collection of anthrax spores collected over more than 7 decades and kept in more than 100 vials at the Iowa State University in Ames, Iowa. Many scientists claim that the quick destruction of the anthrax spores collection in Iowa eliminated crucial evidence useful for the investigation. That's so weird. How'd that happen? How'd that happen, bro? What the fuck? Nothing to look at there. That's crazy. The single instance that took 9/11 and universalized it for the entire country and made everyone, no matter where they were, fearful of their own fucking potential existence and had everybody whipped up into a frenzy even further. What happened? A week after the September 11 attacks that made everyone feel like 9/11 could happen in their backyard. An incredibly important, formative event for The brain-broken American exceptionalist, jingoist hog shit that you hear. That was carefully curated and crafted, boys, okay? Wild. American intelligence agencies, CIA and FBI were producing massive amounts of anthrax when they pinned 2001 anthrax attacks on terrorists. Still no investigations into this false flag operation right after 9/11. Well, no, there wasn't an investigation. There was an investigation, and they got, like, literally some fucking innocent person. But they never actually found who conclusively did it. So, you know, talk to me again when you, talk to me again about how much, you know, the American government gives a fuck about the safety of Ukrainians or whatever. Newsflash, leftist streamer exposes himself not understanding basic geography. Wait, oh, because I said Illinois instead of Iowa. I mean, in her defense, these answers are under the record for one. And these politicians always have an agenda to try and trip people up to create narratives. Walking on eggshells in these hearings is an understatement. Wait, what does anthrax have to do with 9/11? I'm genuinely confused. No, you're not genuinely confused. You're just 16 years old. And these things happened before you were fucking born, okay? That's it. That's the thing. A week after 9/11, there were anthrax attacks happening all around the country. People were sent mail which had anthrax in it. Okay? All around the country. This caused even more panic on top of 9/11. Because people thought at the time, because this was a formative event, because this was the first time in a very long time since Pearl Harbor that the American soil had been attacked by a foreign enemy, okay, by an unknown foreign enemy. And also it was the first time that the American civilian population was attacked by a foreign enemy. Okay? So they thought this could happen in my backyard. And it's like, no, bitch, you literally live in a town with like 1,000 people. It's not going to happen in your backyard. But people thought that. Okay? What is this? Operation Sea Spray was a 1950 U.S. Navy secret biological warfare experiment in which Serratia marcescens and Bacillus globigii bacteria was sprayed over San Francisco in order to determine how vulnerable a city like San Francisco may be to a bioweapon attack. Wait, what the fuck? I did not know that.
Welcome back, everybody. It certainly has been a tough day and days for all of us at NBC News because, of course, the press conference that announced yesterday that an NBC News staff member actually had been tested positive for anthrax.
What the fuck is this porn intro, dude?
To a deadly form of anthrax.
Rare inhaled form of anthrax. Health and Human Services Secretary Tommy Thompson calls it an isolated case and says there was no threat of terrorism.
In Boca Raton, Florida today, a memorial service for Bob Stevens. He is almost certainly the first American to be killed in a deliberate anthrax attack.
Now to the home front and those concerns over anthrax in Florida. After one man died from the illness and his co-worker was contaminated, the FBI has taken over the investigation.
America strikes back. Anthrax, another infection, this time at NBC News in Rockefeller Plaza. Good evening. Tonight we find ourselves in the unusual and unhappy position of reporting on one of our beloved colleagues, a member of my personal staff who has contracted a cutaneous anthrax infection. That's an infection of the skin that is responding favorably to treatment, and her full recovery is expected.
There were 2 letters that were suspicious that both arrived on the same day. One contained a white talcum powdery-like substance. The other contained a brownish, granular, almost sandy-like substance.
In just a week's time, we have had 4 confirmed cases of anthrax, all with media connections, and a number of anthrax scares as well. ABC News.
In Nevada, in New Jersey tonight,
the U.S. House of Representatives is closing offices today until Tuesday to allow a complete sweep for traces of anthrax. And 29 staffers for Senator Tom Daschle's office have tested positive for exposure to anthrax.
The letters sent to NBC and the New York Post were the same. This is next. Take penicillin now. Death to America, death to Israel. Allah is great. The letter sent to Senator Tom Daschle had similar wording. You cannot stop us.
I love this because it's like, it's got real Blacks Rule energy. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? For those of you who don't know, here, I'll just show it to you real quick. In in one of the most famous self-inflicted wounds, man discovers burnt MS state flag racial graffiti in front of his Pascagoula home. Do we think, boys, that this was a real... Boys, do we think this was a real situation? Or does this have the same energy as people being like, as a black man... You know, when people type that shit in my chat where it's like, as a black man, we're very violent, actually.
We have this anthrax. You die now. Are you afraid? Death to America, death to Israel. Allah is great. All carried the date 9/11/01 at the top. All were sent from Trenton, New Jersey.
I don't have anthrax.
Good morning. President Bush tries reassuring the nation after anthrax is found at a facility that handles mail going to the White House.
President Bush is calling those people who are mailing these anthrax letters evildoers, and he says any attempt to terrorize this nation is going to fail.
Another day of germ warfare and still no sign. The worst case of bioterrorism in this country is close to being solved.
The government's...
Dude, early COVID truthers be like, anthrax can't kill me, baby. Oh, yeah. Remember Dean Browning? But yo, anyway, no, it's pretty funny to think. I'm imagining a conservative guy who's like, actually, anthrax is good for you. These goddamn libtards want to make you live in fear of anthrax. That's right, we're doing anthrax parties today in my backyard. I found some anthrax that I stole. No, actually, I found some of these substances that a man wearing shades and who kept telling me, you know, here, take this, it's anthrax on the internet. I got some anthrax from that guy, and I'm going to try it myself. Try it on myself. You look like a white female hip-hop artist that calls themselves a hip-hop artist? What the fuck?
Scientist who took his own life rather than face charges of hatching the diabolical 2001 anthrax attacks.
The FBI says the heart of its case is a DNA fingerprint of the anthrax sent through the mail. But it will be several more days before the government discloses its entire case. For now, victims and their relatives say they've heard next to
A Canadian hacktivist came out with evidence that it was an American attack and was charged by the FBI as being involved with child pornography sites, which the FBI literally operates honeypots in 2020. I'm not saying he's innocent, but it's sus as fuck. Yeah, that's the thing with our hacker said he had proof the CIA caused the Anthrax attacks. They had him arrested for child porn. Just sprinkle some Anthrax on as Johnson and let's get out of here. I don't know, man. This one is sus. Wait, there's a Vice Tarkov article? What? This is sus as fuck because, like, I don't know if he's actually I don't know if he's actually like a libertarian or not. You know what I mean? Like that fucking gun guy. Remember that gun guy? The one that the anarcho-capitalist who released the blueprints for weapons that you can make at home with a plastic 3D printer. He was also caught with that's super vague. No, the fucking gun dude who was like, he's like a famous anarcho-capitalist terrorist or whatever. Well, he claims he is, but he also was caught, you know, the ghost gun guy. Yeah, exactly. Gun dude equals all of America. Anyway, he was caught with like, was it child pornography or was he honeypotted? Cody Wilson. Yeah, this dude. Meet Cody Wilson, the creator of the 3D gun anarchist libertarian. Now, when a guy like that gets caught with fucking child pornography, I'm like, okay, well, it does make sense. You know, I mean, am I going to feel like this is not real? Am I going to act like this fucking dude is not into fucking at least lolly porn? You know what I mean? That's the most average CP enjoyer, baby. You kidding me? What? The White House won't let you talk to Fauci, but the New York Dems did this shit. This is shameful use of 9/11 imagery and offends every New Yorker. My colleagues are using this horrific attack on our nation to advance their political agenda. Why? I mean, it's aggressive, but I think it's good. It's fucking true. Bro, climate change is way worse than 9/11. Like, what do you mean? Like, people literally just don't believe it. Like, they just think it's not real. They're like, oh yeah, 9/11. It's the worst thing that has ever happened on the planet. You know, nothing bad could ever happen that is as bad. It's like, motherfucker, how about climate change, dude? Like, what do you mean? It would make 9/11 look like... First of all, I'm sorry, but no American can ever cry about 9/11 going forward when we just went through like a million 9/11s, okay? Literally 3,000 Americans were dying of COVID every fucking day. And Republicans were like, no, we need more. We need more deaths. And now they're going to be like, oh, I can't believe they're invoking the imagery of 9/11. Dog, what are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? You just don't give a shit. You literally don't care. There was a 9/11 every fucking day, dude. Every day. But just like fucking COVID, climate change is not immediate. It's not being done by the Mujahideen. Okay? So you can't associate it with anything. It's not a black or brown person responsible for it. So the fucking Amerifat brain cannot comprehend it as an existential threat. You know what I mean? It has to take human form for every stupid, idiotic American to understand it as like a genuine threat. Anyway. Yeah, they tried to blame China for it and it still didn't stick. What's up, dude? Good, homie? Looking good, brother. Dude, your hair looks great. Anyway, but the child porn thing for that dude, I don't know. It could be real. It just depends. Is he a libertarian or is he not a libertarian? You know what I'm saying? But we took note of Russia's false claims about the alleged U.S. biological weapons lab and chemical weapons development in Ukraine. We've also seen Chinese officials echo these conspiracy theories. Oh, how the turntables. It's pretty funny. This is preposterous. It's the kind of disinformation operation we've seen repeatedly from the Russians over the years in Ukraine and other countries. We've been debunked as an example of the types of false pretexts we have been warning the Russians would invent. The United States is in full compliance with its obligations under the Chemical Weapons Convention and Biological Weapons Convention and does not develop or possess weapons elsewhere. It's Russia that continues to support the Assad regime in Syria, which has repeatedly used chemical weapons. It's Russia that has long maintained a biological weapons program in violation of international law. Also, Russia has a track record of accusing the West of the very violations that Russia is itself perpetrating. In December, Russia falsely accused the U.S. of deploying contractors with chemical weapons in Ukraine. This is all an obvious ploy by Russia to try to justify its further premeditative, unprovoked, and unjustified attack on Ukraine. Now that Russia has made these false claims and China has seemingly endorsed this propaganda, we should all be on the lookout for Russia to possibly use chemical or biological weapons in Ukraine or to create a false flag operation using them. It's a clear pattern. Why would you say that? Bro, they're so horny to fucking say that Russia is going to use chemical weapons that it literally makes it seem like you literally have chemical weapons there, dude. Like, why? Why are you guys so horny to say that Russia has chemical... Oh, my God. They can't just, like, deny something without also turning it back and being like, oh, no, actually, Russia will do it, though. When my mom found my poop sock and I blamed it on her. Dude, speaking of a fucking poop sock, imagine forgetting the top of the hour ad break and waiting 30 minutes until running the fucking ad and then forgetting to mention that, you can avoid those ads as long as you subscribe for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime. Yeah, I forcibly entered that segue into your homes, okay? Way harder than Johnny Harris ever could. Okay, what of it, dude? What the fuck of it, baby? Coming, the 1 minute ad break is coming. If you're lucky, though, you can avoid them. Maybe if you get gifted a sub. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Escape from Tarkov players feel the squeeze of the rubles collapse. The cult classic Russian video game has tied its currency to real-world exchange rates. Why do dollars cost 139 rubles now? I have to give Peacekeeper 8,000. And I swear when I was playing last week, it was dollars were 128. Now it's 139, which is almost a 10% increase. It's only a 100K increase in cost for a spa tour. 6, but now all attachments and bullets from him are expensive as well. Basically, is this intended? That's hilarious, dude. This honestly affects me. No, I find it hilarious because they have to. Tarkov market has BTC and different foreign values that are actually affected by IRL values. Don't they also quite literally have the exact same weather conditions in Moscow, I think? Where are they? Where have they made the weather conditions in the game directly the same as? St. Petersburg? Yeah. Used to, but not now. Oh. Rubles are the game's default currency, and players begin with 500,000 as they explore the world and complete missions. Yeah, dude, they lost it. Damn, guys, I feel terrible for all the Tarkov players, dude. How will you get over it? Versus like what fucking Russians are going through. Or even worse than that, what Ukrainians are going through. Yeah, I heard this. Active duty UK soldiers are going AWOL to fight in Ukraine. A British Army spokesperson says a small number of soldiers have defied orders and traveled to Ukraine despite being banned from doing so. I mean, good luck, guys. Good luck, boys. All right, have fun. Have fun with that, lads. Oi, lads! Have fun with that. Okay, dude. I'm going to watch the sex work video, okay? I hope there's no NSFW. If there's an NSFW portion of the sex work video that you guys have been fucking begging me to watch for the past, like, month now, or since it came out, I am going to ban everyone. Just kidding. I will be banned personally, and then I'll never come back to the platform. How about